Well, hello everyone. Happy Monday. Let me turn this up a little bit on my side. Yo, what's happening, Swiss Army? Already in the chat with some epic emote there. Damn, I've never seen that. Thank you again, Swiss Army, for being a supporter of mine, supporting me on the YouTube side and all that fun stuff. I appreciate you being here, man. I hope everyone has had a wonderful weekend. I feel like these weekends go by so fast, and I don't recall what I did. Oh, I grabbed brunch with a few friends. So there's a thing in Dubai called Saturday brunch. It's a thing. There's not many like cultural things to do in Dubai. I'm speaking out of ignorance, of course, because I just stay at home. Hey, Kimbap, what are you doing? Look at this guy, cheeky bastard. Thinks he can go up on the desk. Speaking of which, my cats say hello. Oh, it feels dark. I forgot to turn on one of my lights. I was like, huh, something's off here. Out of Focus says, hello, how you been? I've been very good. Thank you very much. Happy Monday. Let me turn on this light. Swiss is asking, what weekend? I missed it already. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I feel like it really did fly by a bit too quickly. Give me a second. Let me turn on the light here. Look at my cat. Kimbap. Good boy. Good boy. And then Nala's just right behind him. Let there be light. There we go. Much better. What are you doing there, buddy? All right, so my cats say hi. He wants to cuddle. No, he just wants food. I just fed him. I got some treats for them. So he's sniffing away for more food. Look at this guy. God, he's such a fatty, man. He probably gets it from me, but this dude just does not. He's like on the hunt for food. That's all he thinks about. Non-stop. Look at him. I have no food, but he just has a feeling that I might have food because I just fed him. And that's what's driving this dude. I mean, listen, more power to him, okay? What better reason to live than to eat? All right, we're just observing him. I want to see if he just kind of calms down. All right, so that's Kimbap. And then Nala is not here, but she's right in between these two cameras. So you can kind of see Nala poking her head out right where my hand is, right there. So he wants, Out of Focus says, hi Kitty, he's like me for real. For real, on God, as they say. But thank you for asking how I've been. The weekend was good. Like I was saying, so in Dubai, we have something called Dubai Saturday brunch. And it's essentially like any other brunch, but they do it on Saturdays instead of Sundays. And then instead of eating, it's usually about drinking. So it's like usually all the restaurants, all the hotel bars, whatever, they do this event every Saturday. And you buy tickets to do all you can eat, all you can drink. And most people just go there to drink. And you drink all day from like 11 a.m. until like, you know, basically into the evening. So my friend invited me to just do that, to hang out, catch up and stuff. So did a little bit of that, but otherwise I stayed at home. I worked on a few things. I was a bit busy. Actually, speaking of which, I just put it in the chat, but I have posted my latest YouTube video. I hope you check it out. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's freaking 21 minutes long though. So if you've got 21 minutes to give, 22 minutes actually, 21 minutes to watch it, and then 1 minute to leave a very thoughtful comment in the video about how amazing the video is. But anyways, hopefully you check it out. And then I posted a few things on Instagram as well. And yeah, so it's been kind of all over. Autofocus says, OMG, how's the heat in Dubai? I can't even imagine. Actually, what is the heat in Dubai right now? Let's double check. Dubai temperature. I just remember a few days ago, I went to the gym at around 11 a.m. When I left after noon, like after 12 p.m., it literally felt like I was baking alive. It's like a 5-minute scooter ride for me. And I was so afraid that my scooter tires were going to melt. Because one of these days I was like, even, yeah, it's just, oh yeah, here. There's a warning sign right now. Here, let me share my screen so you guys can see. In Dubai, it's saying right now 34 degrees Celsius, which is 94 degrees Fahrenheit. And there's an excessive heat warning that was from 2 hours ago. Severe heat is expected in this area. So yeah, not the best. Wednesday is going to be 38 degrees. Unfortunately, here in Dubai, we are now at the height of the summer. Actually, usually people, they call it an Indian summer. I actually don't know what that means, but there's something called an Indian summer here, where I think August is the hottest month. What is an Indian summer? Swiss says, autofocus is here is like 32 degrees today. When you say 32 degrees, are you talking about in Celsius? Because it sounds like you're similar boat to me then. Unless you mean Fahrenheit, in which case I'm so jealous. Swiss says, if you don't turn it on, let it play and then say a comment so YouTube likes it. Yeah. Do whatever you need to just to watch that. Autofocus says, ooh, street photography, count me in. Hells yeah, definitely check it out. Yes, you must. I'll play a few bits and pieces of it even on the stream if you'd like. Very happy with how it turned out. Again, shout out to my editor. We had a lot of revisions on this one. I went back and forth with him, but it's good teamwork. And again, I mentioned the editor I work with. He's really good with soundtracks. He's really good with finding sound design. So fantastic work there. But yeah, this one took a little bit longer to get to the final page. But especially because I don't really do stuff like this, although now I will do more. So hopefully you enjoy it. Give me as much critique as you feel it warrants. Because now that I have all these new cameras, right? We got like these little action cameras that I put on my hat so I can do some first person point of view kind of captures. Especially usually I travel solo. So, but now that I have all these ability to capture additional scenes, behind the scenes kind of shots, it does help me figure out new ways to do some storytelling, to share some travel vlogs, show some of the captures that I've taken. So I'm working on that right now for my Uganda trip as well, because I did a lot of that behind the scenes capture. But let me know. I hope you guys enjoy it. Swiss says 21C here today. Oh, 21, that's what I put my air conditioning at. 21 degrees Celsius. That is the perfect temperature. But yeah, so autofocus, if you are into street photography, check it out. Let me know if you enjoy it. I don't actually know. I think someone critiqued me before on my live stream. I think they were telling me that it's not really street photography, what I captured. So maybe saying street photography is not the best identifier of, or like the category of capture that I did. But, you know, it's the closest I could think of to represent what I was trying to do, which was I went out into the streets of Munich, and while I was there, I tried my best to see if there were moments that I could spot that I wanted to try to take a photo and video of. So in a sense, that is street photography, right? Come on. But yeah, so check it out. Autofocus says, yes, in Celsius. I'm from Serbia. I think you told me this before and I forgot. So Serbia, very nice. Very, very nice. It's 32 degrees in Serbia. I need to go. Oh wait, no, that's hot. Wait, what? That's the same as here. Damn, that's really hot. In my mind, I thought Serbia would be like freezing for some reason. Swiss says NYC. Out of focus. Anyways, today's 32, and mostly before our summers were super hot. The hottest was 42 that I remember. Well, listen, I'm from the desert where I remember. Oh yeah, we were supposed to look up Indian summer. I have ADHD, so I tend to forget what I'm supposed to do. Let me finish what you guys said. We were literally grilling. Yes. I mainly focus on street photography because I'm also doing it myself. Well, okay. Well, I would appreciate your thoughts then, especially if that's what you do. I always appreciate people who are experts in their areas or who are experienced in their areas to give me feedback. Swiss says you went on a city safari. You know what? I was thinking about, I think one of the titles for the YouTube video, I labeled it something about a wildlife photographer tries street photography, something like that. Because yeah, in a sense, that is kind of like the perspective I was, angling for. It's like, hey, look, I don't really have much experience in doing street stuff, urban stuff. At least it's been a while. So watch me, who normally shoots wildlife, try to do street stuff. Okay, what is an Indian summer? What is an Indian summer? Can I just get an AI? There is no major or single... Jesus. Okay, the point is, I know people have called it like an Indian summer in Dubai. So my thought was, when they're saying that, they're just referencing that the hottest months are not necessarily, let's say, June and July. I think it's more like July, August, something to that effect. I just know August is the worst here. Swiss says humans are the wildest animals. It is very true, very true. Out of focus, I'm not that big of a pro, but I'm doing my best. Well, either way, I appreciate it. Just check it out. Let me know. I generally do take criticism very well. I would like to believe I take criticism above average in terms of, like, I think more than most people, I am able to I can take things on the chin very well. I don't take offense very easily. And I move on from things, even if I do feel like heated from something. Not that you guys would ever do that to me, but so generally speaking, I'm like, yo, lay it on thick. Tell me how shit this was, how terrible, how ass. And I'll be like, you know what? Okay, a little, harsh, but I'll learn from it. So anyways, this is the video. It's about 21 minutes. So check it out. I'm really happy. And one thing I mentioned about this video is a surprising thing that I've discovered very recently is using a software program called Dehancer for more than video grading. So we know of Dehancer here on the channel because, well, I guess if you're into film, color grading, whatever you want to call it, Dehancer is quite known in the field, especially for doing like film emulation and like color grading. And so they had reached out to me in the past and I was able to try out their product and I enjoy it. Now I use it for everything. However, what I wasn't as familiar with, because I don't think they promote this as much, you don't see as many YouTube videos about this, but Dehancer for photo editing is phenomenal. It's amazing. So it took me a few more days to push out this video because I went to each of my photos and I re-edited these photos using Dehancer in addition to my own photo editing presets that I use on Lightroom. So I am a huge fan of Dehancer now for not just video, but for photo. And actually Dehancer, they just posted my photos on their Instagram channel. So shout out to Dehancer Photo for giving me that feature. But yeah, so if you like the video and if you like the photos, all of the photos were edited with my own presets and my own editing style. But then on top of it, I overlaid some Dehancer. Hey, Nala, what are you doing? No. Get down. Yeah. So even these photos, everything, it's got a little flare. And then of course my key shot. So this is probably one of the hero shots, was this post-casting mailbox thing. But once I put the color grade on top, I really like how this turned out. So yeah. Anyways, so that happened. And then what else has happened as of today? I've mentioned before that CNN project that I was a part of, it had been publicized. It already went live, I think last week or something like that. However, it wasn't posted on social media yet. They had just posted it as in, if you turn on the CNN TV station, if you turn on the CNN channel, during certain advertisement moments, you would be able to see this 60-second video play. However, they haven't posted it on social media yet. But today, I just saw that the Uganda Tourism Board channel just posted the video. So if you go to, I should link it. Where is it? Here. We can watch it together. And I'll link it. Let's share, copy link. We'll put it in here. All right, so this is a post from Uganda Tourism Board. So I don't know when CNN will post it. Like I'm assuming they might post it on their like CNN travel account or CNN Create. But this is coming from the Uganda Tourism Board side of things. So they created like a quick, how you say, social media version of the video. So it's just there. But I will also play the full thing for you guys. Out of focus is I started watching your video and I gotta say right from the beginning, for someone who's not doing street photography much, you know what you were doing. Well, thank you very much. Hells yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you. Make sure to leave it as a comment so that it helps my video see, you know, get more traction. But thank you. I appreciate that. Those kind words. All right. Let me see if I can play for you guys the CNN video. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, I'll put it over on this guy. Let me pause the music, and we'll play it throughout. You know, like because obviously, you know, in case anyone else hops in and are curious, this is. So let me provide that context again. This was a project I got to participate in. I wasn't I wasn't the main person on any of this. I was a mere mortal doing secondary camera operations. Okay. However, almost all the footage I believe that you'll see in this video that has to do with wildlife, it was captured by me. So I'm very excited that they used a lot of the footage. And there's a few other shots that I think I'd captured as well that weren't necessarily wildlife based. But basically, someone had reached out to me who works for CNN Create, and they had stumbled upon my Uganda travel vlog videos that I had posted to YouTube. So if you want to see more content, you can definitely check out my YouTube channel. That was the first travel vlog series that I created. It's about 7 or 8 episodes. Swiss said, I sent some photos of my latest Pixboom build. I came up what I think is a clever way to have an EVF mounted to a monitor so you can have both. I made a custom LIMO to USB-C cable to power the viewfinder. Interesting. Okay, let me open up that image in a second. Out of focus says photography is art. And also Swiss Army, I'm curious, it depends how long you're on the chat and stuff, but I know we briefly mentioned about how to 3D print a thing to hold on to the ND filter lens cap. But I'm curious of your thoughts on that because, man, I was going through a lot of the behind the scenes footage where you see me using the Freewell filter, and the number of times you see me take the lens cap off and just hold it in my hand as I'm gripping and trying to shoot at the same time, or try to put it in my pocket, but it won't, you know. Anyways, Out of Focus says photography is art, so you just got to go out there and do it. You just got to try new things once in a while. Absolutely. I'm trying to practice what I preach. It's a little bit tougher to do in Dubai just because there's not as many fun nature or like old school cultural things in Dubai. It's like a lot of heat, especially right now, and a lot of construction. So that does make me wish at times that I lived in some other country or some city where you can literally step outside and right away it's like you get lost in these different alleyways, or you see like old cathedrals or old landmarks, or you have some forests that you can hike in, or some or some parks and stuff like that. I do wish I had access to more of that. It's a poor excuse though, because there is a lot of beautiful things in Dubai. You just got to drive to it or find it, but I don't know, not as accessible. Okay, sorry. So we're gonna watch this quick thing here. So someone reached out to me. He's a director of photography, works for CNN Create. He saw some of my vlogs about Uganda because he had a project upcoming in Uganda. So CNN was working with Uganda Tourism Board to make like an advertorial to promote Uganda for tourism. And so they had this guy named George the Poet, who is this big artist, who's I don't know if he's born and raised or if he lives in Uganda, but he's Ugandan. And so they had this idea of like filming George the Poet as he traverses Uganda, and we film behind the scenes showing him exploring Uganda while he's reciting a poem that he created just for this event. So anyways, they reached out to me. They liked me enough that they said, we will hire you to be a part of the team. So that was really kind of them to get, to trust me enough to join them. And essentially I went as a secondary camera operator, and I shot with my 2 Nikon ZRs. I borrowed a Nikon ZR from Nikon, and then I have my own. In the meantime, they were shooting with Sony FX6 and an FX3. So it was really fun because this is the first time I ever got to be a part of a project like this with like actual professionals who know what they're doing and all that. So I was definitely a fly in the wall trying to absorb as much as I could, but then also I was there for work. So I was filming constantly. And the irony is I think I ended up filming over 5 terabytes of footage, and the project itself is only 60 seconds. So like most of the footage, yes, they ended up using a lot of my footage, but most of it hasn't seen the light of day. So I'm just waiting to hear back from the corporate side to see if I'm able to showcase more of the footage that I captured from those days that I was traveling, or if it's kind of locked away, because in some ways it's not considered my footage anymore. It was part of the project. So anyways, so unfortunately I'm still pausing from sharing a lot of the behind the scenes captures until I get the green light. So I think that's a lot of context. I hope you have followed through with what I said. Hopefully it made sense. All right, so let's watch it. So this is the 60-second advertorial that is playing now on CNN's TV channel. So here we go.
My mind was open. My heart was yearning. I realized it's time I started learning what happens when a man's left alone to rediscover his ancestral home. Uganda, a land of wonder, a land of beauty, a land of mystery. The sounds, the pace, the smiles, the tastes, the depth and the breadth of Ugandan history. I found a place that was versatile. Natural wonders, urban styles, waters that literally birthed the now, and sunshine that says, you deserve to smile. I've met people who live to preserve the wild. Some prefer the village, some prefer the town, some from up country, some from further down. Every conversation.
So yeah, just pausing real quick. So yeah, this is a poem that he created and he's reciting, and it was such a cool idea. Like, so shout out to Adam Brown, who's the DP. The whole idea was pretty awesome. It's just basically film George the Poet as he's going across Uganda, but then the whole time he's reciting his own poem. But then, like, how do you say? The level of detail that was put into this is also so fascinating because it's like, one, they recorded him speaking the entire poem, like cleanly, but then 2, in all of the locations we were at, they had him recite parts of the poem. What do you say? Like in the field, I guess. So then there's a bit more ambient sound. It's a bit more obvious when he's reciting a line that it wasn't done in a recording studio or like in a whatever. He was saying it out in the wild. So then you get like different flavors of him reciting. I don't know if that makes sense, but point is, like, then basically as you're listening and watching this, you're actually seeing him recite the poem in the wild, out in nature, in the places that he's at. And so so yeah, obviously this is a real obvious example there.
The sounds, the pace, the smiles, the tastes, the depth and the breadth of Ugandan history. I found.
So yeah, just like tying in all these like how do you say? Just the sound design, everything was great.
To smile. I've met people who live to preserve the wild. Some prefer the village, some prefer the town, some from up country, some from further down. Every conversation was worth the while. You see, Uganda has a way of being everything to everyone. She's young, she's old, she's fun, she's bold, she's reserved and mild, yet she's firm and proud. Uganda is a riddle. You'll never work it out. Come and see for yourself. Explore.
So yeah, that was so yeah, apparently this is playing now on TV. I just don't have cable anymore, so I can't really say. But it was really cool. So a bunch of these footage, it was shot by me. So how cool is that? Now, again, I just played a small role, right? Like my role was just capturing some of the footage. There's obviously the team that actually edited and color graded and, produced everything, all of that, right? That's like way beyond my role. But it was really cool to see that I could play a part in this. So yeah, like it's also cool to see some of the footage I captured being utilized. So I think so most of the wildlife stuff, so the golden monkey, some of you guys, if you've been watching my YouTube channel, you might recognize some of the clips. I used some of this in my travel vlog series. The rhinos were when we were there. Giraffes, yeah, blah, 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 blah. The elephants, the gorillas. So the gorillas I shot with the Nikon Z9, I believe. I captured these with the Z9 at the time. This might have been with the either Z9 or Z6 III, actually. I forget. I want to lean towards... Actually, I don't know. And then this one actually was kind of proud of. I think I captured both of these shots. So there's a shot here where, he's reciting the line and then I'm just just capturing a little bit of the background behind him. But then this one turned out really cool. So I will take a little credit for this particular shot because I remember the main camera operator and the DP, they were filming some other moments that as we were near the waterfall near this is the Murchison Falls. And so while they were doing their primary shots, I was just kind of behind the scenes trying to see if I can capture some behind the scenes. But then I did find this cool angle. I think, did I shoot this with an 85? It might have been with the 85. 85 or the 70 to 200. But then I did find this cool angle where with the force of the water, rushing past in the background, it makes it look... I don't even know how you describe a shot like this. It's like that feeling of scale, maybe? But also given the speed of the water, it just, I think it's shooting with like a tele lens, kind of compress the shot a bit so the background feels a lot closer in your face. But then also seeing this entire wall of water rushing past, it does feel very awe-inspiring. So, once I showed them this, then they're like, okay, let's get a few more of these kinds of shots. And then, ultimately they utilized it there. And this is Murchison Falls, which is apparently the most powerful waterfall in all of Africa, if not the world. There's something they tout about this place, but I always forget. This was really fun to film with the hippo as it was rushing into the water. We did the rhino walk. This was in Mabamba Swamp when we were searching for the shoebill stork. This was in, the Queen Elizabeth, seeing the elephants fighting, the lion cubs, yeah, giraffes, I forget where. And then the baby falling. So again, you might recognize this from this was in episode 3 of my Uganda series, I believe. The one where I go gorilla trekking. But that was one of the coolest moments, seeing this like baby gorilla climb up this tree, being playful, and then the weight of the baby ended up making the tree snap comically. So yeah, anyways, that is the CNN Create with Uganda Tourism project. Really excited. So this is back in March of this year, I believe. It was one of those that I was very excited to be a part of. But then if you recall, who knows where the war situation is now, but at the time, things got really crazy in Dubai, where there were like drone strikes and missile strikes every single day. So there's a real concern that the airport might be shut down prior to my project. So that's why I ended up going to Munich. So in some ways, this whole video that I just showed, this street photography that I did in Munich, that is in some part thanks to the situation in Dubai, the war that's happening with US-Iran. Because then it did force me to go to Munich to stay with a friend so that I could travel from Munich to go to my projects in between. And so then that's where I was like, okay, while I'm in Munich, let's go ahead and explore the city And lo and behold, here's the video I made. So yeah, that's how that turned out. Anyways, so that was the project. Yeah, so that's what's been happening the past few days. So it's been a productive, it's been very fun, a lot of stuff going on, and fingers crossed, but hopefully there will be more projects like that in the future. So we shall see. And then separately, I'm learning more about like how to pitch projects, or like how do I be like a proper filmmaker. So I did a lot of research on what are the key steps that people do in order to get funding, in order to pitch a project. So apparently there's something called a lookbook. So I put a lookbook together, thanks in large part to Claude AI, helping me out. But basically, I have at least 2 different stories that I want to capture in Uganda. So I'm hoping that I can, I just sent an email out. I'm hoping I'll hear back from some of my contacts over in Uganda. But and I've mentioned on the stream, but there's one story I want to tell in the swamps of the Shoebill guide. So I really want to just go back out there, film one of the Shoebill stork guides, capture his story about, you know, why he's doing what he's doing, the history of the Shoebill in the swamp. But then also I want to capture some of the local, like a fishing village, and see if I can actually film one of the older people, the older fishermen, and like get some nice cinematic close-up shots of the fisherman as he's going about his lifestyle. And then hopefully work with like a conservationist who can tell the story of what they've been trying to do with the swamp area with the Shoebill stork. So anyways, there's a whole thing that I put together as a lookbook, and fingers crossed that it gets greenlit. But if so, I'm hoping to go back to Uganda in the next month or so. We'll see. All right, I think that's all of the key updates I wanted to share. So before I get proper work done, let me get in at least a couple games of chess. This is like my nice way to detox and reset. So let's go. I want to get 2 dubs. All right, let's get 2 wins in there. Now, I'm not a professional, unfortunately. I wish I was better at chess. I'm above average, I think. I'm okay. I usually hover at around 15 to 1700 as my rating for chess when I'm playing this kind of like 3-minute game, which is, I think, like respectable, you know? Could be better, could be worse. All right, here we go. Ooh, I see what you're doing. Can't fool me. I gotta be afraid of that bishop going there, lasering my queen and my rook. So, and then this way I'm just at least pretending to threaten his queen there, even if I don't ever end up doing anything with it. Let's free up the rooks. At some point I want to threaten the knight. Should I threaten the rook there just for fun? Yeah, I'm gonna threaten the rook there just for fun. Just to annoy him, yep, and then I'll take. And then I'll threaten. So now I've officially locked out that bishop, which is good. Let's see if he takes the bait. Let's see if he takes... I don't mind if he does. Okay, let's threaten the knight. Because basically I want to put this knight there. Hold on, let's see what he does. Okay, now I want to threaten the knight, or sorry, the rook. At the same time, I want to grab this. He's got to move his rook out of the way, but he also is eyeballing this guy, so I got to be careful. So let's protect that. Now he's probably going to push the bishop there to knock out this pesky night. Okay, okay. Fine by me. Oh shoot, I made a mistake. I'm playing too fast. I left open that one. It is what it is. I think positionally I'm still in a better spot. So let's just push the queen out of the way. Ooh, okay, I think I got him in a trap. There we go. So I forked the queen and the rook. What you gonna do, buddy? You gonna cry? You gonna resign? Oh, even worse. You're gonna give me your queen? You're gonna cry now? You gonna cry? We did it. Oh, Swiss says photos on Discord. Oh yeah, appreciate it. Hold on, let's check it out. All right, we got the dub. Let's check this out. All right, so, oh man, that's zoomed in quite a bit. So what'd you say about this again? You said, I sent some photos of my latest Pixboom build, and there's like a clever way to have the EVF mounted. All right. So you got the Pixboom with that, what do you call this again? Like, I forget what you called this, but you have that thing that you can put on the backside for all the cables, the battery, then you've got the monitor there. What is this? Is that the EVF you're talking about? Man, that looks very professional. Are these the remotes for the focus pull? Man, this is very intense. How do you control this? You have something on the right side, yeah? I need to purchase one of these matte boxes for sure. If there's a lot of things I need to do, but for sure that. Okay, so then you're saying this is that solution where you can connect the viewfinder. I've never seen anything like this. So this is like a modular electronic viewfinder. So the EVF is bolted to the small HD monitor. Interesting. Okay, so this is the monitor. Wait, is that the monitor? Hold on. Okay, so this is the bottom side. That's here, yeah? I see. So then you did something fancy, which I don't know what, but you did something fancy or clever here that lets you then hook up from your monitor to this viewfinder. I think I'm getting the general gist of it. So it says, SDI video looped out of the monitor, and then I made that custom cable to power the EVF from the monitor. Interesting. Okay. Man, this is gonna... Well, listen, Swiss, I mentioned I should be... I have that meeting on Thursday, and off the back of that meeting, hopefully it will quickly turn into like a conversation of when, right? So, one second. So there's a couple things. They mentioned there's 2 different lodges that we can film from, right? There's their main one, the Naboisha one, and then there's a second one where she had mentioned that they are looking for some marketing collateral support, whatever. So potentially that can justify extending the trip from 5 days to like 10 days or something like that. Then, so I'll obviously hear back from them on that. EVF from Kinefinity Eagle EVF. Okay. So many different gadgets. It's so insane, man. Oh, you know the gadgets I really want to look into right now is Polar Pro stuff. Specifically, like all their what do you call it? Like the pancake lenses or the diopter. There's one I saw on Instagram recently that caught my attention where it can do like this really nice magnification. Cineflow? I thought it was called the diopter, but interesting. Yeah, there's like all these more like very creative stuff that doesn't seem too expensive, but you can just slap it on and get some like very unique, you know, kind of captures. It might be a bit too artsy for the things perhaps that I'm trying to do, maybe, or it could just be the thing I need, you know? So I was just looking at that. The EVF really helps in bright environments like safaris where you want to lock in and get good focus, and it helps you focus only on what's happening in the frame. Yeah, yeah. Although I will, to be fair to Nikon, the ZR has been really good. Just because of how bright the monitor is, that you don't have as much of a problem with it. What was I gonna look up? Yo, we got Average PP in the chat with the nice emotes. How's it going, my friend? Good to see you. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. All right, so Swiss Army. These look epic. What was I gonna say about this though? Oh, you know what? I need to see if I can reach out to Tilta. Because I saw another creator similar-ish to me. He just worked with Tilta on some things. And I've been getting a lot of Tilta-related advertisement. But specifically for some of the things that could work to stabilize on in a vehicle. Let's see. Like, I know we talked about suction cup stuff. Where is it? Swiss says Tilta is great. Yeah, it would be great if we can work with them, you know? Boom pole support, no. Products. There's one I just saw him, someone was promoting. It was like a big pole that you stick inside your car. I don't know how it does with like shake, but it was like another way you can have a camera mounted interior of your, like inside your car. How would I find this? He's a Tilta ambassador. Wait, who is? No, I don't know if he is or not. Or like, he might be, or all I know is he's not like the biggest creator by any means, but like, you know, I like his work, but he just mentioned Tilta gave him this product to test. So I don't know. And he lives in Dubai, I think. So it could be within my wheelhouse to be able to like see how to, I should at the very least send an email to them. Let's see. Average PP says, how does one afford such gear? That is a good question. That is a good question. For me, it's, well, I had a day job that helped pay the bills and then some, and so that's how I got into this kind of line of work initially. Nowadays, I don't have that stable income to point to because I'm not in corporate anymore. But generally speaking, you hopefully get different projects, you know, how do you say that? Because it's almost like a chicken and egg thing. Sometimes you have to invest in a lot of the gear up front and believe in yourself in a sense to be able to get some good quality stuff. And so once you invest in the gear and then people see your work, hopefully people will pay for your work. But it's not that easy. You get paid for projects and in turn I buy camera gear. Yeah. Swiss says, no, the guy camera rigging mods guy is a Tilta ambassador. He was at their booth at NAB. Okay. Interesting. Well, this looks fascinating, man. So yeah, I'll have the chat on Thursday, but the goal is hopefully we can spend like 10 days in the wild. maybe 5 days at Naboisho camp. Naboisho camp. And then hopefully another who knows how many days at the other camp that she had mentioned to me, where, and the cool thing is they were saying that in this other camp, they use electric vehicles. So all of the safari jeeps are electric. So even that in and of itself is kind of a fascinating, like even that could be fun to film. You know what I mean? Like turn it into a quick little short film where, you know, we interview some of the staff talking about why they have, you know, shifted to electronic, you know, speaking about maybe more about the environmental cost of it, or like the efforts that they're trying to do from a conservation standpoint, or just being more one with nature, if you will. So like, I think that could be really fun to also film and turn into like some nice story. But yeah, let's say like 5 days here and then 5 days in the other camp. And then, yeah, streaming throughout. Oh, that reminds me, there was a streamer. So shout out to Kavai Tsu in the chat. He had sent something to me. I wasn't able to pay attention, but he sent me some big content creator, big Twitch streamer who was doing a safari stream. So I was meaning to research or watch it later. Let's see, where did he put it? Study time. Someone called study time. Study time Twitch. Average PP asked, no one pays me, how would I start? And then Swiss says that's cool, that would be a first. I drive a Tesla, so electric is the future. Yeah, I think there's a really cool story there, you know? It's like the absence of sound. There could be some cool film moments, right? Because then you're expecting when he turns the engine, or when you expect the car turning on, you have the sound of the car revving up, but instead it's just nature, right? So there's some really cool punchy things to do in terms of the storyline. And then of course then getting a voice narration about the value of going electric, how it's helping the environment, but then also from a photography standpoint, how nice it is to not have to hear that engine ever, or, you know, like as a photographer, how nice that is as a filmmaker, just in general. There's some interesting angles there I think could be a fun little short film. So average PP, how would you start? Literally, how would you start? I think one, obviously you know best what your budget is, what you can afford to purchase or use. So, you know, no one else can really speak for you on that part. But I would say ideally, I think investing in a camera is definitely a good investment, especially in this day and age. If you know how to use a camera for both photo and video, it can take you much farther in almost any hobby or passion that you're pursuing, because it becomes like an amplifier in a day and age where everything's digital. Where let's say if your hobby, let's say your passion is music, like playing guitar, or let's say your passion is, I don't know, rapping, or what do people do? Whatever your hobby is, right? Gardening. If you can film or if you can photograph those activities, it just adds extra value to what you're doing and potential in terms of turning it into a business. Because hiring someone to do that is also not the cheapest. So if you can do that, but it's also somewhat within reach for anyone to learn how to take nice photos and nice videos, right? So it's like being a good photographer, being a good filmmaker is much easier for the average person to attain, to become. It doesn't mean you'll all automatically be like super artistic or like one of the greatest, but to at least learn the skill set of taking a photo and a video with like proper gear, it's like costs money, but it's not impossible. And once you have that as like a baseline knowledge, it can take you really far. It's like learning English, right? Thankfully I was born knowing English, but like if you learn English, it can take you really far, because just by virtue of knowing this language, it opens up so many new other doors for you of opportunities. Swiss says most people try to go too big too fast and need to learn how to build over time. I've been shooting since I was 9 years old with the Sony Mavica, using a 3.5 floppy to shoot 21 JPEGs. Yeah, so yeah, don't expect success right away either. It is very much like, I think some people are looking for shortcuts. A lot of people look for shortcuts. It's like, hey, can you give me the secret sauce that will let me go from 0 to 100 right away? And I feel that is the wrong lesson to learn, especially if you're younger. But in general, I think almost anyone shouldn't follow that advice, or you shouldn't want to be successful overnight, because in some ways you need to build up the muscle to like actually have the right proper skills. You want like depth, you know, in terms of your skills. The example I give sometimes is that I remember I posted one of my Instagram reels onto TikTok, and that TikTok blew up just randomly. Like a month later, it got me 100,000 followers, and it like reached 20 million views or something like that, which was really insane. It was a really cool moment, but I wasn't ready for what that, like once I got 100,000 followers, I didn't know what to do with it because I didn't know how to use TikTok. It was just wasted potential, because it's like all of a sudden you got the followers, but then I didn't have the content. I didn't have anything to show why, if I clicked on follow, that you're going to keep adding value as a content creator, and why I should keep learning more about you. So it was just one of those like very premature success moments, and it would have been so much better if none of the videos had popped, and instead it forced me to have to like learn every aspect of like being a content creator, how to edit, how to shoot, blah blah blah. And so when that moment eventually happens, it won't be as much about like sheer dumb luck or whatever, but like, oh okay, I know what to do with it. Swiss says we should do a live stream with you where you have some of these creators new and experienced call in live with you. Yeah, absolutely. I would love to do that. A lot of plans, okay, a lot of big things. What was I gonna do though? Oh yeah, so this is some creator named Study Time. And so Kavai had messaged in the Discord letting me know that this individual was doing a Safari stream. I was like, no shot. Okay, so I need to watch this later. I figured we can do it on the stream because we're here. So let's see, who is Study Time first of all? She's got 180,000 followers, a Twitch ambassador. She's a digital nomad and content creator. Does remote work, solo travel. She does co-working and study streams. Nice. And then sometimes does IRL travel content. Sounds like the right type of creator. We want more people like this. So then let's see if we can plug into one of her streams to see. Let's look at the Safari stream. Okay. Man, I don't watch enough Twitch to know how to freaking operate this. Am I like zoomed in? Is that why? All right. So hold on. Let's. I want to see when she gets onto the Jeep. You ran PLT from YouTube says, I was wondering, does the big file sizes affect your video time and how much you bring SD cards, CF Express? So for my stuff that I do, I'm usually capturing videos these days, which are heavy files, right? And for instance, my past few trips, I was shooting with my Nikon ZR 6K, mostly 6K footage. It was either 4K or 6K, but I did a lot in 6K. 25 frames or 50 frames, all in R3D. So very heavy. I usually travel with these 1 terabyte CF Express Type B cards. So I carry with me a number of those. I have a bunch of these CF Express. If I'm doing, let's say, like a 1 week or a 2 week trip, it's not uncommon for me to end up shooting about anywhere from 4 to 6 terabytes of footage. So, which is a lot. And having said that, I'm hoping that will change over time, where as I become more comfortable, as I become more experienced as a cinematographer, filmmaker, I will now be a bit more wise or more frugal. Like I don't have to always record everything. I can be a bit more picky. I know what kind of shots that I'm looking for before I travel. So, but because I was so new to the experience, I was filming everything. I still film almost everything when I'm traveling, so I don't miss a moment. But as I switch the hat from being like a travel vlogger to becoming more like a travel filmmaker, I should now start thinking of it as like, okay, I know I need these 20 shots. specifically in preparation. I know I need this shot, this shot, this shot. Once I get that shot, I don't need any other extras. I'm good to go, right? So I'm hoping to get to that point. Urine says, you are, and PLT says 4K is already heavy and Red Raw is even more. Yeah, I know one of the comments from people in the chat prior was hoping that the Nikon ZR in some future firmware update would have like a more of a compressed version, similar to how Nikon has the NRAW, and then they have like a smaller file size version of the NRAW. So I know that was one thing people were hoping for. Let's see if it comes out. But usually for me, I just carry a lot of memory cards. I have no choice. But yeah, Urine, I'm curious what you shoot with. What do you, if you're a Nikon shooter? So it says, as a solo guy, it's hard. You'll find even if you and I are shooting, we'll manage data better. Yeah, it would be nice to just know exactly what specific shots, like having a shot list, you know, it sounds so obvious, but like, that's not how I usually travel. So things are changing though. Things are finally changing as we get more comfortable. All right, I want to see some of her live stream. I just want to see how she's filming, especially once she gets into the Safari vehicle. Is she already in the vehicle? Okay, she's already in the vehicle. Why is this thing cropped in? I'm getting so frustrated with freaking Twitch right now. What the hell, man?
How are you doing, James?
I'm good.
Good. How long have you been doing this?
Do you guys see what I'm talking about?
Years.
It's like cropped in here.
Expert, though.
So even this thing is... And if I just like shrink it, it does nothing.
Mambo.
Okay, I guess I'll zoom in 2000% and now we're fine.
Good morning. I need one ticket entrance.
Okay, so now she's... Okay, how is she filming this? This is in Kenya. Maybe... I'm assuming she just has strong enough cell connection here.
Okay.
Because she hasn't entered the park proper. Because she's at like the front gate or whatever.
Can I pay with American Express? No? Okay.
Alright, let's do a little research here. Like maybe connections... Let's see if she explains it somewhere. She's in Maasai. Does she say where in Maasai? Can I speed this up? Can't do anything here. Uren says, I do Canon, usually personal art shots, but started to get paid work lately. The famous Rebel series. Plan to upgrade to mirrorless, but I'm going to get a 7200, so I still have time to upgrade. Gotcha. 7200 is, for the longest time, the 7200 was my favorite lens. I'm assuming you mean like f2.8. But yeah, the 7200 f2.8 is one of the most versatile lenses for sure. Especially when I started off doing like travel photography. I was just trying to capture whatever I can see. And I found the 7200 to give me some of the best shots. The ones that I personally thought were my favorites came from that lens. Because there's a nice compression, there's a nice like separation of the subject. You just get nice like portraitures with the 7200. And you can be a bit more sneaky when you're traveling. So I'm currently researching. I'm watching this streamer named Study Time, one of the past streams, mainly because she's doing something that I'm hoping to do very soon, which is do live streams from the wild. So I've already got a Safari partnership. I have a Safari company who's willing to work with me. And we got Swiss Army in the chat who is helping me out and should be able to join. That'd be awesome. But our idea was to then have some Starlinks attached to the Jeep. and then rig up the Jeep with some cameras so that you can have some nice different angles. But let's see what this lady's doing, because as of now, I'm assuming she's not carrying around a Starlink, so she is currently streaming just using some kind of cell connection, which is very encouraging because that means that the network is decent enough that you can use cell at least for some portion of the stream. And my curiosity is going to be, once she gets into the vehicle, how is she staying connected during the safari? Because once she's in the vehicle, unless she's in like a private game reserve where maybe they have some cell towers that she can ping off of, my assumption is she won't have good cell connection. So maybe she's using one of those live view TVU kits. But even then, it's like if you have no cell reception, you have no cell reception. Yoren says, I tried the f2.8 Gen 2, but I found a cleaner f4 and it is more compatible to my budget, so I had to keep up with it until changing to RF. Yeah, listen, I think we run into this, like, because I'm guilty of this, we tend to always go for the most expensive. You want that f2.8 versus an f4. But it all just depends on what you're shooting, and I think again, same thing. You don't want a shortcut to success. You don't want a shortcut to learning how to take good photos. So if you start off with the best camera, the best lenses, it becomes like a crutch, and it masks some of your let's say, it masks some of your, I keep wanting to say insecurities, but that's not the right word. Some of the areas where you could improve, you know? So.
You slept 5 hours? That's a lot of time for you.
Okay, how is she doing this?
Let's hope there's gonna be internet chat.
Ooh, she's talking about it. Good, good, good. So she's got one camera here for the full, for her selfie mode. And then we're seeing, I guess she's setting up a second camera. So I'm assuming she has a second camera rigged up already onto the Jeep, and now she's maybe plugging it in.
No, it's open. Okay, they're here. They're here.
Let me turn this up on my side.
They're here.
Okay, how did she do that?
This is our car for today.
Interesting. What kind of camera is she using where she can have a dual perspective? I'm so confused. Is this just an iPhone? Are you able to do this with an iPhone where you can turn on the selfie camera and then the front camera at the same time?
Good morning. This is the car for today. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Where do I jump in? Ay.
Yo, okay, this is very interesting because she's doing like the most bare bones version of this stream, which is good because it's showing like even like you don't need the craziest tech to make this work. Because she's okay, without knowing what she's filming with, it seems like she's using maybe like an iPhone or some smartphone camera or an action camera that has a dual camera system, one that's pointing outwards, one pointing in. So she's able to get this selfie mode of herself at the same time as you see the front camera showing what she's shooting. And so she's just hopping into this vehicle. So that means this Jeep, it sounds like, this Jeep is not rigged up. Like she's just literally hopping into this Jeep without any association with whatever's inside the car. So she's doing like a super low-tech version, which is great. Because for my version, right, what we're going to do is I'm trying to rig up an actual Jeep with proper cameras and Starlink and stuff. So it sounds like mine would be overkill, but that's good because I would rather it be overkill. And I do want the quality to look very good, like very professional as a photographer myself, right? Like we want to have the best quality. But the fact that you could do this with an iPhone or whatever she's shooting here, that's good. Yoren says, you're right about it. The body is old and lenses are meh, but I've realized good lenses matter too, and I have to reach these old gear's limits until I can get the best of a mirrorless. Yeah, the way I started out, I did start out with the mirrorless in my own photography journey. Maybe I can show that. Did you say you do mostly photography or do you do videography as well? But I can just briefly show you. So my journey as a photographer started off with the Sony a6000, and I was just kind of aimlessly, you know, just shooting whatever I see. And then eventually I moved to a Nikon D810. Then I went from a Nikon D810 to a D850. But you can kind of see the types of shots. These are all shot with the Sony a6000. I was just shooting whatever I could see. Practice, practice, practice. I was making so many mistakes. I was shooting with like, I think I had one good lens, like a prime $300, $400 lens. But otherwise, you're just going out there shooting. And because I was shooting with the a6000, it wasn't necessarily the best quality. There's so many, like, you'd have so many issues pop up, purple fringing and like dust sensor spots and all kinds of random things you have to work with. But it forced me to have to learn how to edit better. And it also forced me to learn how to take better photos. One thing I always recommend is, especially if you're a beginner level, having a prime lens is a better investment perhaps than getting a zoom lens. Because if you have a prime lens at a fixed whatever, focal length, it forces you to have a certain perspective. I even mentioned this in my recent video, the Munich street photography video I just did, where when I was shooting with the 70-200, I actually struggled that day of shooting because I had too much choice. Like when you can zoom in and out within 70-200, it kind of gave me too many options to figure out how to get a good story. Whereas when I was shooting with like a fixed 85, 50, 35, what you see is what you get. So then it kind of just helps your mind focus creatively on the other things that you can control as opposed to, you know, being spread thin. So I think like getting a nice prime lens is one of the better initial investments when you're starting out. So yeah, I was shooting anything, nature, landscape, animals. Eventually I got super into animals, but initially it was more on nature and travels. So when I was traveling, it's just trying to capture whatever I see. At this point, I had switched over to the Nikon D810. So I was shooting with the D810, and then I switched to a D850, and then went to the mirrorless eventually with the Z6, and then the Z9, and Z6 III, and now here we are with the ZR. So this is kind of like my journey as a photographer, shooting all kinds of random stuff, but eventually realizing I am super passionate about wildlife. But that didn't come until like much later on. I did a few safaris, and then eventually we got into the big leagues. Shot with like a 400mm lens, loved it, and I was like, "Yo, I need to do more wildlife stuff." Anyways, so that's my quick journey. Yoren says, "I do photos mainly, but open to video too." Yeah, in this day and age, learning and being open to be like a hybrid shooter, I think is very important. Don't close yourself off from learning video because that's the direction the world is moving towards. And especially as the cameras get so much more powerful, I think it should be easier for anyone to get into video anyways, like even just with an iPhone. Swiss says, yes, you can do that with an iPhone. Date the body, marry the lens. Glass last, so invest there. Interesting. I've never heard that. I've never heard it that way. But yeah, marry the lens. Like these lenses, once you buy it once, it could last a lifetime for sure. Yeah, this is kind of fun going down memory lane though. I did a lot of architectural kind of things, more just like landscapes. But it was just like I would do a lot of solo travels and then try to see whatever I could capture from the travels. Yeah. Okay, anyways. So, Swiss, you're saying this was definitely, or it's possible to do this with an iPhone, which is music to my ears, because now we're going to obviously do something crazier, but it's good to know that there is a lowest, or what do you call it, a minimum viable product, which is an iPhone. So even if we do, let's say an Osmo Pocket 4, that's still a step up. If we end up doing the mirrorless rigged up to the roof bar, that's even better. Yoren says, I've got the 50mm 1.8, pretty good and sharp lens, but crop factor seems pretty high to me. And as for the body, the most limiting thing are low light and autofocus. 9-point autofocus is crazy. Yeah, but 50 is yeah. What is 50? I can't do the math, but
This one here. All right.
50 is a good one
And
to
then-
play with, I think. If you got an APS-C crop though, it's
Look at the car. It's gonna be so cool.
all right, Swiss. I hope you're excited because the Jeep that we're gonna be using is like a more photography-based vehicle. So the hood will be down. They even mentioned they have like literal like photography Jeep designed for photographers where a lot of the seats are stripped out, and then there's a bunch of like swivel seats, so you get like full angle, and then the sides of the Jeep come down so you can get that low angle shot. They said if it's available we can use it, but we'll see.
Are we ready?
85 millimeter on the APS-C. Well, here's what I will say, Yuran. 85 full frame equivalent has become one of my favorite focal lengths to shoot with. A lot of my most recent photos that I've taken, a lot of the videos that I capture has been captured with the 85 millimeter lens. These were shot with 400, but a lot of the other ones here, even on my recent chimp treks, were shot with the 85, if not the 400. Basically, the three lenses I was using the most was the 400 millimeter f2.8, then I was using the 85 1.2, and then the 35 1.2, and then occasionally the 70 to 200 f2.8. But I've found that the 85 is one of the best to shoot with. I just have so much fun shooting with the 85. We'll get to these in a second.
Are we ready? You see some animals? We're doing a safari, yeah.
I'm just so curious how she's getting good
Connect to the
cell reception.
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Nice to meet you.
Me too. I'm James.
Nice to meet you, James and Julia.
And another thing, so just as we keep calling out, as because obviously as I prepare, she. So from my perspective, when I'm doing this wildlife stream, we will already have the Jeep rigged up. We'll also have microphones for the guide as well. So our driver / guide will be mic'd up. So then any conversation we have, we'll know it's always being captured properly. Yeah, even on the drive and stuff.
All right. Look at it.
Karibu.
Karibu.
Hi.
Hello. Good morning.
You woke up early?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm also curious, is she just hopping into a group vehicle, or because I'm assuming she probably hasn't, because you might need like permission from whoever else is in the car. So maybe she did hire a private vehicle, and then whoever's in here is just a guide or extra guide. I have no idea.
Oh, when you texted
I
me,
can
lights
put
are
it
not
here.
on at our place.
Okay, yeah, so
Really?
they know each
Yeah,
other.
they turn off lights at night. Yours is just on all night. Light.
I mean, you can turn them on or off.
No. Ours is generator.
Ah. You ready for everything? Let's go.
Yeah.
It is, but it's very impressive that she's doing all this so low key. Or like, yeah, just if I take what Swiss said, if it's just an iPhone, that's fantastic. Like again, shows like how
Truck is
far
faster
tech
than
has
a lion.
gotten.
I don't know. Ready?
I just need to know,
Ooh, it's gonna get cold.
how is she doing this stream? I'm assuming she's gonna explain at some point.
Ah, Ashuka.
How is she gonna have good cell reception?
You got some packed lunch.
Yes. That is also the eggs for breakfast.
Oh.
Got it all. Woo! Let's go! At this time. Let me make are connected to the Wi-Fi. Okay, you're connecting. Okay.
Connecting to the Wi-Fi.
Also this one.
Wait, what does that mean? So she says connecting to the Wi-Fi. So either I just don't think that there's a Starlink attached to this vehicle. But maybe they just did that off camera. Separately, maybe she's got one of those routers, and then she's just connecting to that router, or whatever you call those little hotspots. And then another thing, it seems like she's just hand holding the gimbal. So maybe she has the iPhone onto like a gimbal. So I'm not sure how she's gonna do that for 12 hours. Maybe she attaches it somewhere at some point. Now from my side, I'll be holding my own camera because I'll be shooting. So we need to lock the camera onto the vehicle. So then it's just more switching camera views at times, but I won't be actually holding the stream cameras.
Let's hope there's gonna be internet chat. This is exciting, isn't it? So this one. Hello. Woohoo!
This is what is going to be all day.
Nice.
They call it the African massage.
Nice.
I'm assuming someone will make that joke at some point. I feel like every African guide makes the same joke. It's like, we call it the African massage. Free. There it is.
An African massage.
There it is. I called it. What'd I say?
Oh, we come from this side.
Ah.
Because they're not on this side. We could definitely put them from second hand Asia. Yeah.
Oh wait, she had an okay. So that might have been a second iPhone that she has.
Oh, it's gonna be so bumpy. So James, what are we gonna see today?
Even that's kind of funny because I spent a lot of time with a bunch of these safari guides, right? Because I recently did like a photography workshop for them, and it's always funny when they're talking amongst each other about like what tourists always ask them, and you know, obviously she's just being very chill about it, but they joke about how sometimes like they'll get tourists who are just like very demanding about like, you promised me we would see a cheetah, or you said we would see this lion. Well, how come we're not seeing it? And it's like, what can you do? But it's funny, the questions that they get all the time are.
I can't tell you we can see something. Because the nature can predict.
There.
So we might see something like
Okay.
maybe lion.
Okay.
Or that we might not see.
Okay. All right. James, I trust you. Are we gonna get eaten by lions? No? I wanted to.
Do these streams give you like a transcript? Like, am I able to see a transcript? Let's see. Let's speed it up though. I just need to know when she starts talking about like internet stuff.
Okay. Really?
Right now, it's coming out.
Oh,
Oh, you have just eaten.
really? Wait, it was not like behind a fence?
No.
In the camp?
camp.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Oh, there's zebra crossing? Zebra's crossing. Oh, don't fall.
Okay,
You're
one
gonna
of the
take a lot of pictures
benefits. One of the benefits of her style of shooting this is she doesn't miss a moment, right? Because the iPhone is, okay, I'm just going to keep assuming she's holding an iPhone, but because she has that quick camera view, if the zebra crosses, she's just able to pan the camera over and never miss it. There's a chance with my setup, you could miss moments like this when you're on the drive, just because let's say if there's a zebra we want to film, and then as we pass it, it's off to the side. If I don't have my camera, the big camera, pointing at it, one, you'd have to switch the camera view on OBS or whatever so you can see what I'm shooting, but then also you would need to rely on me to actually be filming it the whole time. And that might be tough if I'm using a 400 2.8 lens, for example, on a bumpy vehicle to try to track a zebra or something as it's passing us. So for those moments like what we just saw, it would either mean I'm holding onto a camera that's like a 70 to 200 or something a bit wider so we don't miss the moment, or we just have it set into that locked mode where either the front facing camera with like a 14mm lens or something is just constantly on. So it doesn't track the animal, but you'll at least hopefully see it from the front / side. Or we just need to have an additional camera that's doing exactly what she's doing here, like some kind of quick wide angle that just happens to always see whatever you want it to see. Anyways, some other food for thought here. In the meantime, I'm going to keep color grading from where I left off yesterday, or the last stream.
So how did you get out without getting eaten by the leopardo? Ah, they pushed him away? Oh. Good morning, Pax. With the things of Disneyland. No más celular que se echa. This is my very first safari ever.
Ooh, that's exciting. She said this is her very first safari ever. I love seeing people going on their first safari, because it's like, I feel like the experience is always the same for everyone. It's just like you're so fascinated. Everything is amazing. You're like you're in the middle of Lion King basically. So happy for her.
Have you ever been to safari? Good morning, Chompy. Are you going to work? Oh, this is my very first time. Super soon today. Super early. Where is South Sea Plaza? True. Big figure so far. You never been out of your room so far? It's bigger. That's here. What do you wish to see later? I wish we see the left part though. It's not very good. It's my free day and I usually do this shit. The little stuff. And why are you doing a radio wave then if it's a free day? Closest thing I've ever been to safari is the Purple Hamster. Which is so pretty. Up there is a cellular tower.
What did she say? I think she just said something about there's a cell tower. Man, let's see. Can I rewind? Yes.
Closest thing I've ever been to safari is the Purple Hamster.
Man, this Twitch is ass. Holy crap. Like it's the interface. like to do anything here. It's so terrible. Holy. Like it makes you appreciate YouTube so much more. Like if I want to, I can't even click this button. It doesn't do anything. If I want to speed it up, it's, anyways.
Nature is so pretty. Up there is a cellular tower.
She said, up there is a I think she's saying cellular tower? Cellular tower. Okay, so, which is making me think maybe she is somehow just connecting via cell connection. Maybe she's using a hotspot, which is very promising if the connection's getting that strong in Masai, of all places.
Up there. We have to go, but you know, it gets all the other places too. A good picture.
Take a look at this shot here. I feel this looks super clean. Like the greens and the reds in this shot look very rich. If I can get this kind of colors in all of my chimp captures, I'd be very happy. I think this is this is basically like the look I'm hoping for. So.
Right from there, ready? Look, I've seen the sun so many times.
Man. So I've said this before, but when you're photographing or filming chimps in the forest, same thing with gorillas in the jungle, there's like, it's one of the toughest things to do, in my opinion. Like when it comes to, like when you're on a Jeep, things are a little bit easier, right? When you're doing a Jeep safari. The main thing is trying to get the vehicle in the right position. You try to get the right angle. But generally speaking, you should have enough lighting and all that kind of stuff. When you're photographing in the jungle, it's like super, I mean, physically, yes, it's tough, but then you're oftentimes in very, very low light situations where if you're shooting with like an f4 lens, good luck, you know, because it'll be way too dark. Your ISO is maybe going to be like, you know, over 12,000 just to get a nice image. So it becomes more challenging because there's not enough light coming in. And then sometimes when the light does come in, the light is too harsh or it's too scattered. And you can have some light in some areas of the animal, not others. So it doesn't look as aesthetically pleasing. So it's a big challenge. But when the light hits right, when the camera gets the right shot, it feels so good. You know, the quality just feels unmatched. So like even here, you know, obviously I've applied a bit of that color grading. Not the easiest shot. There's a lot of foliage in the way, but because of this foliage, it applies a nice little like hazy green tint across the shot, but then it ends up making the shot look clean. And then, yeah, just the colors are very vibrant and rich. So when it hits really nicely. But it's like for every one of these shots that I'm really happy with, there's probably going to be maybe 3 to 5 that it's just like, okay. But this one looks good. Like I said, if I can make this look across everything I captured, I'm very, very happy. Let's see.
Let's see what we can see. We'll see. The good thing about this car is I can have a full picture all around. No air pollution. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. That's what also yesterday did. yesterday, it was not that enhancing the sunset. Because if there's no pollution, then there is nothing that can keep the blue light away. So the sunset, it's not that bright. It's a good place too. Già nessuno ti sveglio. Ciao! Spero state bene gay. Spero state bene gay. Ciao, ciao ragazzi. Oggi sono italiana, ma sono... Oh! Oh, there's a pool. Oh, a baby giraffe! Just in time. Really just in time. Oh, hello. Oh, wow. Good morning, I say.
I'm still shocked how she's got good cell connection here. She did say Wi-Fi earlier, but that could just be a language thing. Maybe she just meant cell connection. She just said Wi-Fi.
There's a puma that way. Yes, yes. Oh, wow. There's a baby giraffe.
Wait, I also like how she said there's a baby Pumbaa that way.
Yes, it does. Oh, look at the antelope. Antelopes. These are the breakfast for the lions. We're not inside the park even yet. We're not inside the park yet. Oh, how do you do the 3 months party? Thank you. Soy de América Latina, no. Soy de Italia. Soy de Europa Latina. Oh, it's not Starlink. Or using just cellular.
Oh yeah, that's right. So she's not in the park, she's just going for the gate access.
Oh, we're getting...
On the lower side.
Oh, look at them! So antelopes. Those are... Oh,
Maybe tunataka tumeingia. Tulikuwa tunaingia kwenda pale side ile gate. Kama hiyo ni tukati ya entrance.
oh, you know the animal? You know stuff?
Oh, second hand ndio unapita through the gate.
How are these called? What's the name of these? What? Wild beasts. Wild beasts are part of the big 5. Oh, are wild beasts part of the wild 5? The big 5? What is in the big 5?
Lion,
Yeah.
leopard,
Yeah.
elephant,
Yeah.
rhino, what other? Buffalo,
Buffalo soldier.
No, why?
Because it's not easy to look at. They say that because one of it cannot be killed by any of the other big 5.
Ah.
On its own, unless they come up. Yeah, it's true.
They're running around. It's one of the best African animals. What do you think? Oh, my antelopes. Lions, leopard, and buffalo. The buffaloes are they the big ones? These are not big buffaloes. Let's look at it. Impala and a deer. Oh, for my deer? Okay. I don't Impala. I don't know how Impala looks like. See the rainbows in the sky. So James, where are we going now? Okay, we just like drive around. All right. No? Really? There's already so many animals. We're not even in the main part.
Okay, I don't know when. I don't want to like watch the whole thing or anything. I just wanted to know if she ever talks about. Basically, I just need to know about the cell connection. Maybe I should tune in. Maybe I should donate to her and ask her that question.
Why do I have to turn right? Shit, I was. Oh, wait! Wow! I did a wheelie! Did you see that guy? I did a wheelie! Stop it! Take me home and do on a wheelie!
Oh, okay. So maybe here's where the cell connection dropped.
No, hold on.
Because it says "be right back,"
Is this my?
and then maybe when she comes back,
No.
she'll explain why.
No, I don't want to do it. Shit, do I have to hire someone now? Oh, che cazzo, ma quanti ce ne sono?
Oh, she's
That's okay.
Italian.
So I was saying that the joke was there were people. Oh. What the fuck? I like the fresh fruits. Let me go. Ma porca boia! We need to hire someone that will do this for us. I have a...
Signal restored. Switched back to ingest one scene. No Starling, Peepo sad. Okay. So this is me being in an investigative mode, okay? I'm just trying to learn. So as far as I can tell, someone in the chat had said no Starlink. So I'm assuming she is very bare bones. Like, you know, again, very impressive, but maybe she is just using some kind of a cell connection. Like the, what do you call it? What does Cyronius call it? The Bella Box solution. And then it did get disrupted. She has something called streamable run, signal restored, switched back to ingest one scene. So okay. And that is something Cyronius has also told me, is like you need to have the ability to switch to that BRB scene. We back.
Hey, back.
Seems to be stable.
I'm back? Okay. So I was saying that the joke was there were people with a broken tire on the side of the street. Broken tire on the side of the street. And while passing by, I told them, I don't think you can park there.
Alright, I'm just looking for another like BRB scene that pops up. or maybe she'll explain. BRB.
It could have been a good. Anyway.
Julia.
Nothing. There's another video. There's another video. Are we?
Stream lost signal.
Maybe now we'll start charging. I don't know. Let's see.
Signal restored. Damn, that's actually pretty good quality for, assuming it is an iPhone. That's pretty damn good.
Shut up, donkey.
Okay, well, I feel like there's a lot. Basically, the point is there's a lot to learn from this. So shout out to Study Time. I might have to watch more of her streams and just like even maybe one of these days like send her a message and ask how she's getting her shots. But very encouraging because it looks like she didn't have to use too many crazy tech stuff. It might have even just been like a cell tower connection the whole time, and it held up pretty well except for a few moments here and there. Obviously from my end, the goal is to leverage Starlink. We'll be in a private reserve, so it'll be a bit easier to capture things and also not as many other like guests or vehicles on the road. So that'll be nice, a bit more private. We'll have a bit more heavy duty camera, so it won't be as like pixelated for a lot of the shots. But yeah, I think the fact that she's able to do it with what she, like the minimal gear that she's using, it's like, okay, I'm definitely in the overkill territory, which is a good place to be. All right, so I'm going to keep color grading my footage, and now let's get into some of the YouTube videos. I have so many lined up here. Let's start with our boy Casey Neistat. The biggest parade in New York City history. Let's watch this while we edit. I can go full screen now. Boom, boom, boom.
Here they come! Let's see it. Let's see the sign. Yeah! It is June 17th, 2026. In exactly 24 hours, the New York Knicks ticker tape parade will be coming down this street right here. It's been 56 years since the New York Knicks had their last ticker tape parade.
What the heck is a ticker tape?
Are you putting these signs up for the parade tomorrow?
Yeah, we are.
So cool. Looks good. This building here, 55 Broadway, is taking pretty extreme precautions for the parade. You going to the parade tomorrow?
Hell yeah, hell yeah,
You
hell
excited?
Yeah. I'm gonna be what? I'm excited. I heard like people are gonna start getting here like 6, 7 a.m.
That's what I heard too.
6,
the parade will
7.
begin somewhere around here in the Battery. Then it will head north up Broadway and it will end here in City Hall. 3 p.m., 19 hours until the parade begins. They appear to be chopping down some trees so people have a better view of the parade. The bleacher seats have been set up. There's already some people taking seats. The parade doesn't start for 19 hours. You got your seat?
Got my seat, been here since noon, man. You know, die hard, bro. Been
Let
a
me
long
see.
time, bro.
Woo.
Yeah, man.
Now I'm sitting just across the street from City Hall where the parade concludes, and the biggest concern here are these dark storm clouds that have rolled in the last few hours. Seen some people with umbrellas.
Casey, let me get a picture with you.
What happens if it rains tomorrow?
It's still gonna happen,
Parade's
baby.
still happening.
Still happens.
Baby, New York, baby. 3
How
million
does the ticker tape fall if it's raining?
They're gonna waterproof it.
A brief history on the ticker tape parade. Back in the 1800s, they used a mechanical stock ticker. This received financial data over telegraph lines, and it printed that data on ticker tape. Then, back in 1886, during the dedication of the Statue of Liberty, for some reason, stockbrokers and office workers started throwing ticker tape out of the windows. And that's a brief history of the ticker tape parade.
Thank you, Casey, for explaining
6
that.
p.m., 16 hours
I
until
was
the parade.
confused.
They seem to be towing all the cars along the parade route. The news is here.
I got you.
Are you covering the ticker tape parade?
Yes, I'm so excited to see you.
What do you think tomorrow morning's gonna be like?
Mayhem.
You know what? The way I think Casey Neistat is probably the closest physical embodiment to Spider-Man in New York City. Like when you think of a friendly neighborhood, what is it? Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man? Hero? What is that phrase? Whenever you say, whatever. The point is, I feel like Casey is like the friendly neighborhood celebrity. The Unk. And it seems like everybody knows him. No matter where he is in New York City, he is basically welcomed at every street. And every walk of life, every corner of that city knows Casey. And he's on friendly terms with everyone too. So I don't know. He feels in many ways almost like as close to a superhero for that city. Feels weird to say superhero, but whatever. You get what I'm saying.
Am I going to be in a Casey Neistat video?
Neistat.
7
okay.
p.m., 15 hours till the parade. Sun's back out. Check the weather report. Everything seems positive. Those are all tow trucks.
No idea. I thought it might be for the parade.
They're towing every car on the street south of Canal Street between the East River and Hudson River, apparently.
9 p.m. Came out with the wife and kids just to have a look at things before the little ones go to bed. Yo, what's good? Casey, let's go.
Hey, bro.
This is the front of the line? Yes. Who's number one? So you're gonna sleep out here?
Yeah.
Look, I didn't want to get up at 3 in the morning. I just know there are gonna be people out there right now. 4 a.m., 6 hours till the parade starts. A lot of police activity. All police officers. This is the line to get in. This is the line at 4 in the morning. I appreciate that. Good luck today, guys. I've reached the perimeter. I'm in.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
It's okay?
Casey Neistat.
Man, that's so. I'm so jealous.
Reached the second perimeter.
He's probably got the access to anything he
Sort of
wants.
got
And
permission to run the parade route. How'd you guys get this spot?
Get here early. Like my man said, 3 o'clock in the morning. Get here early.
wow.
It's almost like some bizarro alternative universe where the entire city of New York is only populated by police officers. It's just swarms of cops everywhere I go. 5 a.m. 5 hours till the parade. I'm on the Brooklyn Bridge. It's a little cloudy out, it's a little rainy, a little gloomy. Six a.m., 4 hours till the parade. This is the front line. They're getting.
Side note, I got a nice capture of my friend here, Dennis, striking a pose. I have to say though, same thing. The colors look so nice once you're in the forest. It's like once you don't have any of the harsh light in the way, once you're deep into that forest, the vibes are immaculate. You just get like cinema vibes throughout. Although I do need to fix the lighting here. Let's see.
Let in here any minute. It's as deep as it could possibly be. Have fun today, guys! Is it happening? Is it happening?
I think it's happening.
I think they're gonna open the floodgates. My prediction, full-on stampede. Think Lion King.
Basically, I feel like Casey Neistat makes you want to move to New York City. I feel like he's one of the best ambassadors for that city, you know?
This is gonna be tricky. I'm showered, I'm fresh, I'm ready to go, but I have my boosted board and a backpack, and I need to get through security. Definitely not allowed to do that with both of those things. Okay, thank you very much. Sorry for the trouble, officer. Thank you. Update, made it through 2 checkpoints. They don't like the boosted board. Okay, thank you, officer. I failed the 4th checkpoint, but the officer gave me some advice as to how I can maybe circumvent. What's up?
Yo, what's up, brother? Just wait, when you get to like Broadway, you might be on your own though, right?
Yeah, let him through. Come this way.
Thanks a lot. Checkpoint 6. How you doing? Checkpoint 6. Not only did he let me through, he told me I could skate through. I can barely get through myself. All right, thanks guys. Checkpoint 8, made it through. Got checkpoint 9 coming up.
I'm gonna get you somebody to
Okay, thank you very much.
I get a quick pic?
Even with the escort, it's so dense in here. We are fully stuck.
Oh my god, the humidity there. Just sweat.
Well, I made it.
Casey.
They want me to jump. The crowds outside have asked for one thing: toilet paper.
Oh, hi.
Here. It is 10 a.m. June 18th, 2026. Here come the Knicks.
Must be such a nice feeling. Ugh, I'm a bit jealous. My sports team basically never won. The whole time I was super passionate and I paid attention, never happened. Now I don't watch football anymore. I don't watch sports anymore, so I you know. Wait, how do you get that shot? How'd you get this shot? Okay, so it's either a drone, although I doubt that they would let a drone fly during a parade. So maybe he had a 360 on a selfie stick, extended out. Yeah, it must be it. That's a feel-good video.
For decades, the word IMAX has
Can Blackmagic make an IMAX camera? Angelina Jolie's story is actually Wild Part 1 from 5 years ago. Oh, there's a Part 2. Hells yeah.
This.
How one plant murdered a continent. From 6 days ago. I thought maybe I should watch this just to learn more about like different storytelling techniques. Because this one has like almost 1 million views from a week ago. So it must be good.
This video.
Why camera tests are important. I have no idea what that's about. Golram Turkey, a photographic journey. So this is very recent. I don't know if I know this creator. But same thing. Sometimes I feel like I need to consume a lot of these types of travel vlogs or stories. So I have a better sense of like how to evolve my craft as well. So that's there. We got Fedorevsky video. If he ever hops in, we'll watch it with him. Shout out to Fedorevsky. Someone named Luda created a video called Got Any Hobbies? It's very catchy. 8 minutes only. Okay. So maybe this could be inspiring from a creativity standpoint.
Say if you don't.
We got this, our boy Wakaz Kazi. Some in the chat don't like him as much as I do. I like this guy. I like his style. AI tools beginners should try first on DaVinci. And then Croatia. Oh yeah, this one, John Malkovich doing something about Croatia. So I don't know if he's kind of like doing the Anthony Bourdain thing, or I know Will Smith has done something recently, but this is maybe for inspiration for other film projects. Okay, let's watch this one first. I am not who I think I am. Holy Christ, this guy filmed it in a super wide angle. All right. I am not who I think I am. I'm not who you think I am. I am who I think you think I am.
Breakfast. Many things in life come in threes. Breakfast.
Many things in life come in twos, more than threes, I think. Day and night, black and white, up and down, heads or tails, sun and moon, front and back. All right, that's all I got.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Scissors, paper, rock.
Who says it in that order? What the hell?
Beginning, middle, and end.
Voila.
Recently, I realized something else might also come in threes.
Got any hobbies?
What do you answer when you get asked that? See, when you're a kid, the answer comes easily. And as you grow older, those hobbies change. Until eventually, you find something that feels a little different. Something that doesn't just fill your time, but starts to shape who you are. For me, that was making videos. I even wanted to go to film school. For years, if anyone asked me that question, it was the first thing I'd say.
I make videos.
But now?
Got any hobbies?
I don't mention it anymore. And as you make new friends, colleagues, people you meet along the way, The only person who remembers that version of you is you. I think at any given time, a person can only nurture 3 aspects of their life at once. Career often takes up one of those spots. Kids would be a huge one. And if you try to fit more than that, you'll burn out. Or something will become neglected.
How's work?
What?
Yeah.
Chill. We had team lunch.
Oh yeah.
You know, everyone is calling you the car guy now.
Okay. Is it just me or these two, are they siblings? I swear they both have the same nose. Is it
Car guy? Why?
I think it's because when I talk about you, it's like we went for a drive or you did something to your car.
Interesting. Oh, you know what my manager said today?
What?
I didn't know you were into that kind of stuff. I thought you were just a gym guy.
I think it's reasonable. What do you think you are?
Since the start of the year, my habits drifted towards whatever fit neatly inside my 9 to 5. So whatever caused the least friction, that's what I did.
I guess you could call it a comeback.
Maybe they're right.
Oh, I've used this soundtrack before, I think.
What do you think you are?
It'd been months since I'd made a video, and it seemed like it'd be more months until the next one. And once a version of you stops showing up long enough, people stop seeing it. Then, eventually, so do you.
Hello, is this NRMA roadside assistance?
It is kind of interesting. I guess talk about generational changes now, right? I guess we grew up where the typical video shows a Google search bar and you type into the Google search. Now we've moved on to AI, so it's like you get that little ChatGPT search bar instead. Well, damn.
Military began major combat operations in Iran.
Yet another dangerous and deadly escalation.
Saying some have jacked up prices prematurely.
With the Strait of Hormuz now closed.
There is not less supply. This is an issue, has been an issue of increased demand.
Diesel topping $3 a litre at one
The only
service
thing
station.
rising faster than the price of fuel across the city is anxiety and anger.
The economic
among
shocks caused by this war will be with us for months.
At over $2 a litre, I started doing the math every time I filled up. Is this drive even worth it? one of my 3 things eventually stopped.
I really like how this guy films everything. I wonder, do you think he uses dehancer? It does. There's a few of these looks that feel very dehancer like. But yeah.
And one day, there was space again.
Got any hobbies?
Yeah, actually. I make videos outside of work.
Oh, nice. How often do you do that?
You know, I try and make time for it.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, like, I think the only time I get is...
Many things in life come in threes. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Scissors, paper, rock. And me. To my colleagues, I'm a car guy. To some people, I'm the gym guy. To the friends who knew me earlier, I'm probably still the video guy. For a while, I thought one of those had to be the real one, and that if life pushed one part of me out of the equation, it meant that I had lost it. So if I presented myself as if I was still that version of me, it would be dishonest.
Welcome home, Alex. The time is 9:15 p.m. You have one overdue reminder. Finalize video script. Would you like me to mark as complete?
But maybe that's not true. Although we may not have time to cater to every interesting aspect of ourselves, even if every day feels the same as the last, one thing that's guaranteed is that life moves in seasons. And when one thing inevitably goes quiet,
Oh, but seasons come in 4. Ooh, got you there.
something else will return. And maybe life does come in threes. Who you were,
Oh, there's past, present, future. He's got me there.
and who patiently waits for you when the season changes.
Pick it up. Oh, I thought he was gonna pick up the camera. Well, that was really good. Damn. Man, I constantly inspired by how many creative people there are in the world. And then you know what? There was a time and a place where if I saw someone being super creative, that in my mind it becomes like a demoralizing moment of like, oh, I can't do that. It's like, dang, I'm witnessing the limitations of my creativity. That has changed. I forget, I don't know when exactly, but for a past number of years for sure, as I've gotten further into like becoming a creative person or trying creative pursuits, to view myself as an artist as well, and feeling like it's a muscle like the gym where I can improve my skills in these areas. So now, like when I see videos like this that are really well made and just like incredibly creative, I get super inspired. I'm like excited. It's like, what can I learn from this? And there's definitely a lot from this guy. I first want to know, how did he color grade? Does he say? Dehancer, I knew it. And music bed. Man, we all follow the same path. It's all the same. Music bed and color grade for dehancer. Good to know. Good to know. All right. What's next? Let's watch this.
For decades, the word IMAX has represented the absolute zenith of cinematic exhibition, an uncompromising standard of fidelity that completely dominates a viewer's peripheral vision. It is a format designed not just to display an image, but to envelop the human sensory apparatus entirely. To understand the sheer magnitude of the large format obsession, you have to look at the filmmakers who have pushed it to its absolute limits.
We straight away started talking about the big format. We have big love for the big format.
Oh, this guy.
Especially.
What's his name? Hoyt van Hoytema. Why do we know this guy? I think it's because we watched behind the scenes of Christopher Nolan, was it? I think he was the guy who did Interstellar, the director of photography. Because we were watching a video the other day where Christopher Nolan's usual DP wasn't able to film Interstellar. So then he hired this dude. And the reason I feel like it's this dude is because I thought the name sounded something similar. Like something, I don't know, like Hoyt. But also the dude, his stature reminds me, because the dude who was filming Interstellar looked massive. He looked like a bear. And he was, I remember because they made a point about how he was like shoulder carrying one of these big ass IMAX cameras, which is like, I didn't even know you could do that. But this dude was so built like a tank, he was just doing that. Let's see, Hoyt van Hoytema. I think I'm right. Hoyt van Hoytema, Interstellar. Was the DP for the movie Interstellar? Yes, I was right. Hells yeah.
The IMAX, you know, it's a very visceral window.
If I just kept playing the video a split second more, we would have seen.
Window to the world. You know, in many ways, it's the best format out there.
The immersive quality of the image is second to none. We really try and create a sensation that I would describe as virtual reality without the goggles. The huge challenge is the size and weight of the cameras. So our feeling was if we could find a way to do it physically, the payoff would be well worth it.
That is the ultimate caveat of the 15 perforation 70mm film. Capturing that image comes at a catastrophic physical cost. Traditional IMAX film cameras are mechanical monsters. They are heavy, unyielding, and generate a deafening acoustic roar as the massive film stock flies through the gate. For Nolan's upcoming epic, The Odyssey, the production attempted to finally solve this notorious acoustic nightmare. To capture intimate dialogue, without the mechanical roar ruining the audio, engineers constructed a massive soundproof housing. Matt Damon described the custom blimp as being the size of a coffin. It successfully muffled the noise, but it ballooned the camera's weight to an unbelievable 300 pounds. The rig was so incredibly heavy that it required custom steel-plated dollies just to support it on set. While it is a monumental feat of traditional engineering, hauling a 300-pound steel-reinforced coffin across the challenging location is hardly a practical solution for the vast majority of productions, which raises a fascinating engineering question. Can Blackmagic Design, a company built entirely on accessibility, disrupt the highest echelon of large format cinema? Can they build a lightweight digital alternative that matches the scale of the IMAX format? For over a century, the tools of cinema were kept behind a velvet rope. If you wanted to shoot a feature film or a high-end commercial, you needed the backing of a major studio, a massive budget, and access to incredibly expensive gear. The art of storytelling was gatekept by the cost of the canvas. But in 2001, a shift began. Blackmagic Design was founded by Grant Petty with a singular, disruptive vision to empower creators by making the highest quality video technology affordable and accessible to everyone. Blackmagic didn't just step into the industry, they kicked the doors down. Let's travel to the floor at Cinegear and talk to Blackmagic themselves and find out.
Alright, here we are at Cinegear 2026. Let's see what we can find.
What truly sets Blackmagic apart is their unyielding customer loyalty. They have cultivated a fiercely dedicated global community of filmmakers. Why? Because Blackmagic fundamentally respects the creator. They refuse to rely on expensive subscription models for their cameras or their software, offering perpetual licenses, free firmware updates that continually add massive value to the products filmmakers have already purchased years prior. They proved to the industry that affordable pricing doesn't have to mean budget quality.
It's always great to go to a show and someone says, you know, I bought this product from Blackmagic 10 years ago and it was the first product I had, and then I was successful with it, so I bought Resolve, and then I bought a panel, and then I bought a deck link, and now we're an entire Blackmagic house. And it's almost that kind of, if we can show people how to be successful with our products, because we have so much front to back kind of bit of the workflow, cameras and editing and live production, the hope is that they'll find enough success to be able to work and do more work with Blackmagic across all these different, but even though, hey, if you use a different camera, we want you to use Resolve. Even if you use our camera, we want to use a different editing software, here's how you do that. But if you do work with all these Blackmagic products, here's how you have these synergies and workflows. They become a benefit to using these tools together, and that's part of what Blackmagic is able to bring to the table that a lot of other manufacturers just simply can't do all of those things and get those same kind of benefits.
Nowhere is this philosophy of synergy more apparent than in DaVinci Resolve. Decades ago, DaVinci systems were hardware-based suites that cost over $500,000, entirely out of reach for the common filmmaker. Today, it is a premier post-production software used by the world's best colorists on the biggest Hollywood blockbusters. With the highly anticipated release of DaVinci Resolve 21, Blackmagic has once again pushed the boundaries of what an engineering ecosystem can do. Resolve 21 isn't just an editing and grading tool anymore. It's an all-encompassing creative hub, utilizing cutting-edge local artificial intelligence to supercharge creativity without compromising user privacy.
A lot of great updates, of course, in DaVinci Resolve 21. The highlights, of course, being a lot of the new AI features that we've added into DaVinci Resolve 21. Always things that we're trying to put in there to help accelerate workflows and help creatives be working faster. We're never trying to really eliminate jobs. So for us, about AI is about helping people be faster. So things like our IntelliSearch or our audio replacement, these are things just really to help speed up workflows for folks. And importantly for AI, we always want to make sure people understand that we're using AI driven off of the local machine. We're never actually sending your data out to be learned from, nor are we pulling any information from the outside world.
The most revolutionary addition to Resolve 21 is the brand new photo page. For the first time, Blackmagic has brought Hollywood's most advanced, legendary color science to still image editing, complete with raw tethering and intelligent masking, essentially building a world-class photography.
We still need to test that though. I haven't done like a proper stream just going over like the photo page. I dabbled in it, but I think I need to watch some YouTube videos as I play with it.
Studio, right into your grading timeline. True to Grant Petty's original mandate, this professional grade tool follows a dual path structure, a massive, incredibly capable free version that houses nearly 90% of the platform's power, and a hyper-affordable perpetual studio version built for high-end collaborative environments. Software is only half the battle. You have to capture the light first.
The camera department had to take a very experimental approach to the way we wanted to shoot the film with the IMAX cameras. We wanted to do a lot of handheld camera. We wanted to do a lot of camera mounts.
We actually mounted on helmets, we mounted on spacesuits, we mounted on bodies.
Really treating an IMAX camera like a GoPro camera.
People said you could never handhold an IMAX camera. Well, he certainly proved that is a fallacy.
I really wanted to make that camera work as any other camera you would use. You know, handheld and in a very sort of intuitive and impulsive way that you can use a film camera.
So we're always, you know, in the cockpit, the Spitfire up in the air. We're always down, you know, with the guys on the beach or in the water with them. We're always on this yacht crossing the channel.
We started to invent stuff to make it possible for us to put the camera on planes and in the cockpits. Engineering special lenses that would put the lenses in certain places where it was impossible for a camera to be.
Blackmagic's evolving camera lineup has radically redefined the independent filmmaking landscape, from their classic ultra-compact pocket cinema cameras that fit neatly in a backpack while shooting rich 6K raw video to their robust broadcast and studio infrastructures. Blackmagic ensures that creators have the right tool for the job. Their cinema cameras are universally renowned for their exceptional color science and the highly efficient Blackmagic RAW codec, which captures astonishing dynamic range and true-to-life skin tones without melting your computer's storage arrays.
So for the B-RAW is our recording format that we use on all of our cameras now. So if we're using a Pixis camera or using a Ursa Cine camera, those are all recorded into B-RAW. So we have our pocket cameras, as we've had for a long time. We have a number of pocket cameras, 4K, 6K Pros. Those have been out for a long time. Here we're basically focused on our Cine cameras. We have our Pixis cameras, Pixis 6K and our Pixis 12K. And then we have our Ursa Cine cameras, our Ursa Cine 12K and our Ursa Cine 17K. And these cameras have all been out for a little bit now and are being used out there on real productions and real shoots right now.
But Blackmagic was never going to stop at indie films and corporate commercials. They wanted to build a camera for the absolute highest echelon of cinema, and that meant engineering firmware tools directly based on real-world, high-end feedback from DPs working in the trenches of Hollywood.
We have a couple softwares that we're showing off here that are actually new from NAB. We launched our 10.2 software earlier this week, and that's updated autofocus on the Pixis 6K. So we had autofocus working in a beta on our cinema camera 6K, but we've just launched it for the Pixis 6K. So that's out and it's a free download for people to use. Our goal is to continue to work that, see if we can get that on other cameras like the Pixis 12K as well. But right now, we're showing it here at Cinegear on the Pixis 6K. And then on our Ursa Cines down the way, we are actually showing a new feature that's not in beta, not announced, not anywhere, but this is the text surround image. So we found that a lot of DPs out there want to have a clean feed out the SDI, but they want to have all their metadata also show around the image. So we're just showing that off because it's been a feature request that we've had from a lot of our DPs that are using Ursa Cines, having that SDI feed with that text surround image. So definitely a cool feature that we're working on. Hopefully we'll get that out in a future update, free update for people that are using Ursa Cines as well.
Enter the Blackmagic Ursa Cine 17K 65. This camera isn't just a step forward for the company, it's a monumental leap into the stratosphere of large format image capture. At its heart is a staggeringly extreme large format 65mm RGBW sensor, boasting a native resolution of 17,520 by 8,040 pixels. That is 17K. It features massive photo sites that yielding an astounding 16 stops of dynamic range, entirely utilizing the full sensor package, even when downsampling resolutions on the fly. To understand the sheer magnitude of this engineering feat, we have to look at the historical gold standard of large format cinematography, the IMAX. 15 Perth 70mm film camera. For decades, IMAX film has been the pinnacle of sensory visual fidelity, offering an equivalent resolution that many estimate to be around 18K. However, IMAX film cameras are notoriously loud and heavy and incredibly complicated to run, with physical film stock alone costing thousands of dollars for mere minutes of shooting. The Ursa Cine 17K offers that breathtaking, deeply immersive, large format IMAX look, the ultra-shallow depth of field, the panoramic field of view, the sheer density of detail, but in a digital body made of lightweight carbon fiber and magnesium alloy. It records hours of 17K Blackmagic RAW directly to the internal 8TB media module at a fraction of the cost.
The Ursa 17K is kind of our highest end camera beyond talking about our immersive camera that we of course have for the Apple Vision Pro content. And the 17K is much like our Ursa Cine 12K. It's just a 17K camera with similar feature sets, but like the 12K cameras, both the Ursa Cine 12K and the Pixis 12K, if we end up shooting in a lower resolution, we use the entire sensor package, meaning we actually, if we're shooting an 8K project, we'd be using all the photo sites of the sensor. So we're not just cropping down and using a portion of the sensor, we're using the entire sensor across that 17K. So yeah, basically have that 65 size sensor in there, being able to do that large image. Like obviously IMAX is great and awesome, but like those cameras are hefty and large and loud, and there's lots of complication with those workflows. Like this is the camera that can kind of get you that similar type of image size and quality in a much different form factor. Becomes appealing for folks that are kind of looking to create some of that same type of quality content as well. And that's always what Blackmagic's about trying to do, is trying to create a great value and having a great package that provides a lot of capabilities for a very reasonable price. And even though that's our highest of end camera, it still kind of does the same thing that even our $300 software or $89 converter. It's always about trying to create that value to help creatives go out there and make amazing content.
Think about those great IMAX documentaries of the past. They transported theatre audiences worldwide because the format captured reality with a clarity that felt more real than real life itself. But what would make the best subject for a modern documentary shot on the Ursa Cine 17K? The camera's immersive resolution and 16 stops of dynamic range make it perfect for capturing extreme structural contrast and microscopic details. But you don't have to journey to the bottom of the ocean to see the raw capabilities of the Ursa Cine 17K at work. It is currently making monumental waves right in the heart of primetime television. Take the hit HBO comedy drama series Rooster, starring Steve Carell. For a character-driven narrative, choosing a massive 17K 65mm camera system over standard studio cameras is a deliberate, highly technical choice. Cinematographer Blake McClure leveraged the massive sensor, not for VFX cropping, but to fundamentally alter the spatial relationship between the lens and the actor. By utilizing the 65mm real estate, the production created an incredibly rich image with an ultra-shallow depth of field. McClure treated the system akin to medium format photography, pushing the physical camera uncomfortably close to the talent to isolate characters and capture Carell's nuanced performance. Blake McClure said, "This new Blackmagic camera, 17K 65mm sensor, we were the first ones to use it. It was brand new, hadn't even really been released. It's a larger sensor, which means your focal length, your field of view is different on a lens. And what intrigued me about it was how to use that in a more photographic way, like basically treating it like some sort of medium format photography where you put a camera to capture this portrait of an actor and you get your camera like as close as possible so you could feel the actors and feel the humanity of those acting in a different way than I'm used to. This proximity demanded rigorous on-set spatial awareness, managing complex eye lines, navigating dual camera blocking in tight sets, and finessing lighting within a mere feet of the cast. Yet the physical demands yielded a distinct visual intimacy. When Carell's character stumbles emotionally or physically, the camera's weight and placement matches that erratic energy. Furthermore, because the series set in East Coast autumn but was filmed during the stark California summer, the camera's immense color depth was pushed through specialized LED diffusion filters to emulate a lush, warm fall palette, shifting green leaves into warm, glowing shadows. Rooster undeniably proves that massive digital resolution isn't reserved exclusively for technical blockbusters. It is a formidable observational tool for intimate human storytelling.
Being able to have that 65 size sensor, really great for Hollywood. We have HBO show, the Rooster has been using this, that's something we've already talked about out there and they've allowed us to talk about. So great to have this camera out in the market. Multiple rental houses are renting these cameras.
So the past few of these that I'm color grading is like a good example of what I'm saying. Photographing, filming chimps in the jungle, in the forest, is really tough, especially once they start climbing the trees. Because now, depending on your situation, your location, you might be pointing straight at the sky. And so you can see all that harsh light coming in. So then, yeah, your camera just has to fight even harder to get a nice dynamic shot. So here, yeah, I don't even know if I'll end up using this footage anyways. Let's see what I can do with it.
Camera's out now, so great for Blackmagic to be able to work in this kind of high-end Hollywood production, because we've always been very successful at corporate video and wedding video and live production, but of course just doing more with our high-end cameras, and that seamless integration to Resolve just goes fairly nicely hand in hand in this market.
Blackmagic Design started with a promise to give filmmakers the exact tool they need to tell their stories, regardless of their budget. Today, they haven't just fulfilled that promise, they have completely redefined the creative standard of the entire industry. From the young indie filmmaker shooting their first short on their smartphone using the Blackmagic camera app, to the world's best color graders sculpting light in DaVinci Resolve 21, to top-tier Hollywood cinematographers capturing sweeping 65mm vistas on the Ursa Cine 17K, Blackmagic is everywhere. They have successfully bridged the gap between raw ambition and elite execution. The tools are here, they are accessible, they are powerful. The one question left is, what story will you tell?
You know, if I'm a young student filmmaker and I don't have money to go start out, how can I go ahead and start being successful without spending a lot of money? I can download DaVinci Resolve for free. I can download our camera app to put on your phone directly and start going out and making movies. And then if you start finding success or you find some money to be able to do things, well, why would you want to leave our ecosystem if you've already been successful? I've already learned DaVinci Resolve. Maybe I want the $300 version. Well, I like the menu system from the camera app. Maybe I'll get a pocket camera. Okay, you're doing more work, do more work. Now you get hired for a job. What camera do I want to use? Well, geez,
the Nikon ZR.
Camera. Why wouldn't I want to use an Ursa Cine if I was going to go out and choose another camera to use? Because again, that's the system that you're familiar with. And as long as we can continue to build great tools that help people be successful, we feel like we'll continue to have that kind of loyalty for people coming back and continuing to support Blackmagic Design in the future as well.
If you liked this video, subscribe and we'll see you in the next one.
I did like that, I think. Rory Anderson. Okay, let's learn about Angelina Jolie. Angelina Jolie's story is actually wild. I'll be the judge of that, but we believe in Colo Kino. He is one of the best.
Being on a film is great, but tomorrow I could be home doing nothing, looking for jobs and completely redoing myself as a person, trying to figure out who I am all over again. I'm actually a really shy person. Freedom is pretty to me. There's so much more I want to do.
Angelina Jolie. Why does she have a face that makes me uncertain where she's from? What? Okay, hold on. I need to pause on a better, not upside down image. What ethnicity does she look like? Well, she kind of looks like Mila Kunis in this one, but that doesn't help me because I don't even know what Mila Kunis ethnically is. Angelina Jolie looks, I'm going to guess Mediterranean. Is that even a thing? I'm going to guess she's Greek. Greek or Moroccan. All right, those are the two I'm going with. What is Angelina Jolie's ethnicity? She is of white European descent. Her ancestry includes a mix of Slovak, German, Dutch, and French Canadian. Jesus, there are so many options, and I didn't choose a single one. German, Slovak, French, Canadian, Dutch, German. German again. Okay. Huh. Well, that was wrong. Okay, what about... Yeah, okay, that's fine. We're done. We're done trying to guess.
I want to do.
It was the year 1975. At a concert in London, the rock group Queen was playing Bohemian Rhapsody for the first time. In an old garage on the outskirts of Redmond, two young geeks were founding the company Microsoft. Elton John was performing at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. And the box office records were being broken by Steven Spielberg's horror film Jaws.
And that movie's release was well timed for maximum impact during the vacation season, and some people who have seen it are now seeing phantom sharks every time they go near the water.
But Hollywood's rising star, Jon Voight, and his wife, Marceline, were not thinking about any of that because their family was celebrating a new arrival. On the 4th of June, in Los Angeles, Angelina Jolie Voight was born. You don't remember it, but when you emerged from your mother's womb, I picked you up, held you in my hand, and looked at your face. You had your finger by the side of your cheek, and you looked very, very wise, like my old best friend. Angelina's arrival filled John with more joy than his Oscar nomination for his role in Midnight Cowboy, or his success in Deliverance.
Looks good. Looks good.
But it unfortunately failed to save his marriage. Her mother hoped that a second child would return her husband's affections, but Voight was famous for his love affairs. A year after their baby arrived, the actor began dallying with the young Stacy Pickren, his co-star from the drama Coming Home.
It's open.
Hi.
Shortly, Marceline and John divorced. Meanwhile, the film not only gifted him with a girlfriend, but also with the first Oscar of his career.
John Voight
While her father basked in the spotlight and rubbed elbows with celebrities at parties, her mother was raising their two children.
Well, that's sad.
Angelina had just turned 1,
while her older brother James had just become potty trained. John spent time with his children, but when a few years later, Marceline moved to New York, their meetings became drastically less. Angie and James saw their father only when he flew in for premieres or took them to the film sets if they were close by. These moments caused the children to fall in love with cinema.
The final scene of The Champ was a little hard for them. They both started weeping. The last scene was very unsettling. I had to take them in my arms and explain that Daddy was just acting, that he wasn't dead, that he was still here with them.
Despite this scare, Angelina was enamored by the film set, and she started to make sets in her own house. The little girl would put on her mother's clothes and makeup and do shows while her brother would film her on camera. The family was charmed by her talent, and they saw that the girl was born to be on the big screen. The first time Angie appeared on the screen was with her father.
Daddy's he's a nice man.
You are too.
Her debut was in the comedy Lookin' to Get Out, where John was not only the lead actor, but also helped to write the screenplay. Because of his role in the production, the film featured both his daughter and his ex.
That's Jonathan Voight? Wait, his face looked familiar, but I don't watch enough, like, I guess, old-time movies. John Voight. Where do I recognize him from? Okay, yeah, this guy. Oh, he's like in everything. Damn, that's Angelina Jolie's father. Where have I seen him? Oh, I haven't seen Holes in a long time. National Treasure. I thought I saw him in something more recent. Heat. Okay. Tom Cruise. Oh, that's what it was. He was in the first Tom Cruise. He was the boss, villain, whatever. Okay. Damn, he's done a lot. Jesus.
His wife.
You're very charming. Oh, thank you very much.
This is the only movie made in Hollywood which included the real father, mother, and child. Despite the fact that filming finished at the end of 1980, the reel made it to theaters only 2 years later. The little cutie had just turned 7, and her character, as well as her unusual preferences, began to shine through. Instead of a fluffy pet, she preferred a lizard and a snake, and her first crush was Mr. Spock.
Fascinating.
Dreams of acting were replaced with those of becoming a vampire.
I do detect human blood.
Which in a few years gave way to the dream of opening a funeral home. The girl had been struck by her grandfather's funeral, where she was shocked to see a crowd of sad people. Angie believed that parting with a loved one should be a celebration of their life, not a depressing gathering of despondency.
I'm not scared of death, which makes people think I'm dark, when in fact I'm positive.
Later, Angelina was swept away by a new wave, hormones. In kindergarten, she became a member of a group called the Kissy Girls.
We would chase boys around and kiss them a lot. It involved giving them love bites, and they would scream. Then a few of the boys stopped and started taking their clothes off, and I got into trouble a lot.
Similar antics, despite seeming entertaining, continued with unenviable regularity. Marceline returned to Los Angeles when Angelina turned 11. Her father helped her to get into a prestigious school where Hollywood's richest children were educated. Angie did not fit into the elite cliques. Her classmates wore clothes from expensive malls and went to parties every weekend, parties to which Angelina was not invited. Unsurprisingly, the girl shopped in thrift stores, and her usual appearance, complete with braces, caused her to be constantly teased. She recalls this time in her life as a time of extreme contrasts. One day, Angie was being teased at school, and the next, she was going to the Oscars with her father.
Now, is this your first Academy Award? Yeah. I'd like to say hello. That's a gorgeous dress.
At her mother's insistence, the girl tried her hand at modeling and was, unfortunately, unsuccessful. Her wardrobe slowly filled with punk outfits, and the reputation of an outsider latched onto her. Instead of friends, she attracted insomnia and nervous breakdowns, which quickly turned to scars. Not figuratively, she literally collected knives and was prone to using them.
I went to the Renaissance Fair when I was a little girl, and there were all these knives. There's something really beautiful and traditional about them. Different countries have different weapons and blades, and there's something beautiful about them to me. So I began collecting knives. I've collected weapons since I was a little girl.
Children avoided Angie, and the teachers couldn't seem to find an approach to the little rebel. A few months later, she ended up in the therapist's office. Angelina left the office diagnosed with a tendency to antisocial psychopathy. Marceline wanted to redirect her daughter's energy towards something positive, so she enrolled her in the Lee Strasberg Theater Institute, where she had once attended herself. Lee was a cult personality in Hollywood who had educated James Dean, Robert De Niro, Steve McQueen, Al Pacino, Paul Newman, and Marilyn Monroe, whom he considered his favorite student. The actress felt the same way about her teacher. According to Marilyn's will, 75% of her estate went to Strasberg.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Lee taught using the Stanislavski method, which teaches to use one's personal memories, experiences, and emotions in order to act realistically and authentically. Angelina acted in plays and perfected the basics of the acting profession. The theater truly captured the girl. But 2 years later, Angie left the school because she felt that she had enough life experience and memories to act effectively using that method.
I don't care.
What are you doing?
And despite the girl's logical reasoning, it's more likely that she left the theater because of a love interest. Angelina's first relationship was like something out of a grotesque erotic.
Alright, let's say hi from Nala for a second. What do you gotta say for yourself? Oh, yeah. Good girl. What are you thinking, Nala? Good girl. Do you have anything to say for yourself? Do we get one meow? Ugh, what are you doing? Alright, no meows. But let's move you out of here. Good girl. Alright, let's keep going. We got a lot of footage to get through here.
Horror film. At 14, she brought home her 16-year-old boyfriend. Marceline realized that lecturing her or forbidding her to date would only result in her running away, so she let the couple live with her in their house. Her mother tried to remain in control of her suddenly mature and rebellious daughter, but had to struggle to do it. At this young age, Angelina began living a wild, sexually active life, and still, it wasn't enough for the teen. Later, the actress admitted that she didn't like tender caresses, and in order to reach a real level of intimacy, she would enlist the help of her knife collection.
It was a desperate need to feel. When I was young, I didn't have a self of my own.
The young girl cut herself all over. One day, in a burst of passion, while drawing the letter X on her shoulder, she accidentally cut her vein with a razor blade. She was saved by a team of paramedics, and after she was released from the hospital, Angelina ended things with her boyfriend. When Angie turned 16, she finally developed a friendship with her father. After several pubescent years had passed, she returned to the theater, and John became the future actress's main mentor. The young woman had matured and decided to try a career in modeling again. This time, fate smiled at her. The first few photo shoots brought a small splash of popularity. Then she appeared in a few short films by her brother, who had been studying at the USC School of Cinema Television. 6 months later, Angelina moved to the U.S. fashion capital, New York. The move allowed her to increase her list of job opportunities and be free of her parents' supervision. The young woman was filmed simultaneously in several music videos by the bands The Lemonheads and Meatloaf, and worked on a few shorts made by her newfound New York friends.
Alice, casually smoking, has no intention of telling Bureau when his 3 minutes underwater are up.
In 1992, this budding actress with no screen credits got lucky. Angelina was cast as a lead role in a real Hollywood project with a budget of $5 million.
You need money. Money? I got job for you.
The fantasy action Cyborg 2 was a sequel to the popular reel with Jean-Claude Van Damme, which captivated viewers with its post-apocalyptic sets and martial arts. Unfortunately, the viewer's sweetheart and director opted out of the sequel. They were replaced by Michael Schroeder, whose talent was considered questionable even among directors in the B-movie scene. Despite the story being about a sexy cyborg killer who had escaped from a laboratory with her martial arts teacher, Angie was thrilled at the chance to work on a real film.
Oh, Jesus. He's a cyborg.
However, after seeing it, thrill was replaced by horror. The picture was filled with out-of-date special effects sprinkled in between awkwardly choreographed fight scenes and mediocre acting.
What? What's going on?
The studio hid its shame by deciding to not release the movie. The sequel to Cyborg was released on VHS, not as a separate film, but as an add-on to the first installment. To this day, the reel is considered the worst in Angelina's career.
I thought it would be beautiful.
At the time, she thought that the failure would be fatal, and for a year afterward, she turned down all auditions. Nevertheless, the film became famous for one thing. It was the first movie featuring the young woman under her stage name. She dropped her father's last name and replaced it with her middle name. That's how the world was introduced to Angelina Jolie. It was only in 1995 that the 21-year-old actress once again appeared in a movie. The theme of technology shadowed Jolie here too, though instead of the future, the picture featured computers of the present time. The crime comedy Hackers told a story of some high schoolers who break into the forbidden server of an industrial corporation, where Angelina shared the screen with the talented British actor Johnny Lee Miller.
I don't like this.
Preparation for shooting included trips to hackers' lairs, where the actors were shown how servers are broken into in real life.
Kill the Gibson.
Roger that.
Ironically, in the film, when scenes showed the insides of the computer, they used real models because the director thought computer graphics looked too fake. While filming, Miller and Jolie developed a romance, and the actors didn't have to pretend in front of the camera. However, after they finished, Angelina declared that she wasn't ready for a serious relationship, though Johnny seemed to take that as more of a challenge, and continued to follow the actress everywhere.
You're pretty good.
Unfortunately, the second
Sounds like
film in
stalking,
Angie's
damn.
career was also a bust. They invested $20 million in Hackers, but the box office brought in only half of that sum. The critics were not very supportive either, as they bashed the main character's lack of depth, the directing, and the talent of the acting ensemble.
It's taking forever and a day to figure out. Make some coffee.
The young actress had learned from her previous experience, and this time, she weathered the scathing reviews much more calmly. She didn't stop going to auditions, actually quite the opposite. She even appeared in 2 more films in 1996. In the movie Love Is All There Is, Jolie tried herself in a comedic role for the first time. The story of 2 feuding families whose children fall in love on the stage of an amateur theater where they are putting on Romeo and Juliet is a Shakespearean comedy, served up in a humorous tone.
We love each other very deeply. She's through living a lie to make her parents happy.
And that is why we slept together.
That year turned out to be a popular one for the retelling of that particular story. Baz Luhrmann's drama jump-started Leonardo DiCaprio's career and won over the hearts of millions of fans.
No, what are you doing?
But Angelina was not so fortunate. The film's success was aptly reflected in its box office profits, making $60,000 after the release.
She's going a little crazy.
I don't raise
right
my
now.
daughter for this. I'm going to pull the curtain.
And in addition, Angie once more didn't impress the critics. This was turning into a habit.
Take it out. They don't like me for you.
They don't like anyone for me.
The second reel of that year was the drama Foxfire, where the actress got to play the independent and stubborn Legs.
Come on, Legs! If it were that important to you, you'd come get it. I want to puke! Come on!
The film tells of the complex relationships between teens and of first loves, and disillusionment experienced by a group of girlfriends. During this film, Jolie met her new flame. Angelina said that she was used to giving all of herself to her characters, which is why, while playing the role of a gruff rebel girl in a leather jacket and jeans, she got so used to legs that she didn't notice herself falling in love with her co-star, Jenny Shimizu. Jenny was a proclaimed lesbian, and 10 years later would maintain that that was the beginning of a long affair between the women, though she published a retraction of her words soon after.
I'm going to tickle you to death. Do you understand me? Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Whatever may be hiding in this story, a few months later, it came to an end. In that same year, 1996, Angelina and Johnny Lee Miller reunited, and shortly after had a wedding.
We didn't have a big white wedding. We had a small black wedding.
Angelina and Johnny did not read vows at the altar or wear a dress and tuxedo. The couple went to their ceremony in leather pants and white dress shirts. They wrote each other's names on their backs in blood, and instead of rings, pricked each other's fingers and bound themselves with a bloody oath of eternal love. The eternal love lasted a little over a year, after which Jolie divorced Lee Miller. Meanwhile, Foxfire joined the list
Man, my
of the
cat is
actress's
going crazy.
unsuccessful film
She's
credits.
hopping up on my desk. I don't know what's going on.
This string of failures caused Angelina to fall into depression, which she nursed with the help of drugs. Her next movies had similar fates, and Jolie once again wanted to leave the acting profession behind. It all began with the release of the crime thriller Playing God, where she starred opposite David Duchovny.
It's been nice to actually meet you, Doctor.
The picture was filmed in '95, but test previews threw viewers into confusion. Because of the complex narrative and multiple holes in the plot, the film was redirected for further editing, which continued for 2 years. The studio anticipated defeat and decided to attract audiences with a sly plan. The trailer was filled with the naked bodies of Jolie and Duchovny, but these scenes were never added into the movie.
What?
The critics and the viewers showed their contempt for this deceit with poor ticket sales and scathing reviews. This result was a hit for Duchovny's reputation, which was just beginning to gather momentum thanks to the success of The X-Files.
I'm just basically always looking for...
All right, I'm struggling with this shot to get the right grading done. It's a really cool moment. Obviously, we had this baboon, chill on top of the car. But the problem is we were shooting against the light. And I had an ND filter, so I had adjusted it at certain points. So you'll see different moments where it kind of shifts in the light. That's one thing I need to learn to not do as much. I mean, the reason I do it is because I just assume that I'm not going to use the entire clip, but I do need to make adjustments on the fly. But it is kind of annoying when you have these moments during your shot where the lighting switches off. This kind of looks okay. So I'm feeling this is fine. But the whole beginning section was it's a bit rough because this is when obviously I started filming. So I'm like trying to adjust the camera settings, and get it just fine. So maybe this part's okay. So I think we can keep it. Then the question becomes like, do I want to change some other things? Let's try.
No way to fuck up.
For Angelina, this bad year just got worse when the big screen was simultaneously graced with the black comedy Mojave Moon, which received similar reviews and flopped at the box office.
Oh, look at that.
Critics did not attack the actress directly, but she had record-breaking bad luck with the production she was in.
You're in show business, right?
Well, if you call selling cars show business.
The only silver lining was shooting a Rolling Stones clip where she walked around the streets of New York in just her lingerie. The song became a top 20 hit that year, and Angelina was again remembered by viewers.
Again, why does this guy...
natural beauty.
I guess it is an AI voice, probably. It bothers me.
Jolie broke
Who
the
says
chain
again?
in bad events when she agreed to act in the historical TV movie True Women.
But I don't want to be a man. I like being a woman. But a woman who can vote.
The insubordinate and willful image of Georgia suited Angie, and for the first time, the camera did not exploit her sexuality.
Well, I just don't care.
Short shorts and form-fitting jeans were exchanged for long, modest dresses, and the critics' wrath exchanged for unfamiliar praise. Angelina had found her stride and increased her success with another TV project.
Well, this is my first time at a national film convention as the wife of a candidate.
The two-part biographical drama George Wallace
Drama?
told of a scandalous
Dude.
governor of
Well, I
the
mean, this
state
is
of
like 5
Alabama
years ago, so.
and shed light on the subject of racism in
Colokino, he made the right choice where he switched the voice narration to like that old dude's voice. And I like that one. This guy's voice, not so good. Who speaks like that? Who says drama again?
the period between the 50s and the 70s.
Just been elected governor again now, and so you got that base, and you named a lot of blacks to state positions, so they can't throw that old race thing at you again.
The lead role was played by Gary Sinise, whose part in Forrest Gump and Apollo 13 made him an actor of the highest category, and the project was directed by John Frankenheimer, who made the cult drama The Manchurian Candidate. Acting in the company of so many stars allowed Jolie to explore new horizons of her talent, which the public would soon appreciate.
I even got a call from a record company about doing an album of country ballads. You believe that?
Then she took part in a crime drama, Hell's Kitchen,
Oh my
which was
God.
about the
That
drugs,
guy's
poverty, and betrayal
bothering
surrounding
me.
a dangerous crime-filled neighborhood in Manhattan.
What are you talking about?
Alongside Rosanna Arquette and William Forsythe, Jolie once again gave a compelling performance, but the picture went largely unnoticed. On its first day, it made $11,000 at the box office, though its budget was $6 million. The studio decided not to wait for negative reviews, took it out of the theaters, and released it directly on tape. However, this little hitch did not stop her. Television producers had already noticed her, so it wasn't surprising that in the same year, she received an offer to shoot a picture for HBO.
Next on HBO.
The channel is known for its big-budget projects, which are just as good as anything you see at the movie theater. This time, the producers invested their money in the biography of the very popular model Gia Karanji, whose life and successful career were cut short because of an addiction to hard drugs. The director, Michael Christopher, saw in Angelina the perfect candidate for the lead role, but the actress was scared by the uncanny similarity between her and the heroine, and for a long time refused to take the part.
Gia has enough similarities to me that I figured this would either be a purge of all my demons or it was really going to mess with me.
The director was overjoyed when Angie decided to do battle with her inner demons, and after much convincing, agreed to play Gia.
Work. You have a gift. Use it. Life will be there later.
While preparing for the role, the actress met with the model's close friends and studied her diaries, which were used as a basis for the screenplay. Jolie refused to communicate with her family and remained completely isolated the whole time the film was shooting. The result of her approach is evident in every scene.
There, Gia. Just fuck the rest of it, call me Gia. Do you think you can remember that? Honey?
Karanji is depicted with eerie accuracy, and a few of the scenes even eclipsed the screen adaptation of Train Spotting, featuring her husband a year earlier. The realism, cruelty, and despair of the picture are striking. Through the tragic story of young Gia, the creators showed the backstage of the 80s, where behind the...
All right, we got some... The shots before, they're like, okay, you know, it's a nice moment, but not the best lighting. This one's not necessarily the best lighting either, but we got some clean-ass moments of the freaking chimp. Yo, we're talking. All right, I'm always happy when we get these kind of moments. Hold on. Let's check this out. So the light is a bit harsh there, so I'll probably have to tone it down a bit. But we get a nice chimp walk. And then he looks at the camera, so we gotta lift the light a little bit on the chimp. And then we lose him. Hells yeah, this looks good. All right, let's work with this one.
The bright outfits and camera flashes, there hid thousands of broken lives. By the end of the filming process, Angelina felt only exhausted and depleted.
I felt like I'd given everything I had, and I couldn't imagine what else was in me.
Is that alone your back? Pushing you
I'm assuming the same rule applies where I should probably increase, even though this is all post, I should lift the ISO at the starting point and then drop it down, I think. Man, I don't know. So maybe it's better to keep it at 2000 ISO here. And then drop things down using like the curves or the HDR wheel. Maybe? Let me see. Oh wait, hold on. Let's first turn this to normal. Let's find that moment again. Here. Let's go to like 2500 ISO. No, let's go 4000. So let's say if I shoot this at 4000 ISO, knowing that I'm going to be dropping it down at different points. So for instance, if we hear still looks good here, right? Compared to if I just dropped it down. I'm not sure what to do here. I should learn about this. I should figure this one out.
Your troubles unwind. Sweet love of mine.
As the actress feared, using the Stanislavski method exacerbated her personal problems.
Exacerbated? Oh my god, dude. Alright, I think I've had enough of this one. Listen, I'm a fan of Colokino, but I think I have like certain tics, or I get bothered by certain things. So like, I get super OCD about that, I guess, maybe. If I hear again and drama one more time, or misspoken words like that, damn. Alright, let's watch this one.
This plant next to me is an icon of the desert. It's pollinated by native bees. It's food for lots of tortoises and birds. It's a cornerstone of the community. It's on the goddamn Mexican flag. And it's one of the most destructive plants in the world, in history. This plant is the prickly pear cactus in the genus Opuntia. It's a staple of this land here, the southwestern United States. Along with the deserts of Mexico, the plains of Canada, the Caribbean, Central America, the Midwest, the Eastern U.S., and the Galapagos, which is home to lots of tortoises and birds. Birds like blue-footed boobies, which lay their eggs on bare rock because they haven't had anything to be scared of for thousands and thousands of years. Opuntia's native range is enormous. It's biggest of all the cacti, extending from 56 degrees north in Canada all the way down into South America. But way, way down south, on the opposite end of the globe, this cactus has been known by such names as a growing evil, the green hell, the green death, in the fitting target of 3 million kilograms of a toxic mixture of arsenic pentoxide and sulfuric acid. See, Opuntia, like all cacti, is native to the Americas, and this one simple fact would have incredible consequences. It would also inspire a series of desperate moves, counter moves, and counter moves that continue to haunt all of Australia. And maybe the rest of the world too, for that matter. Whether it's the Sahara Desert, the Arabian Desert, the Gobi Desert, the Great Australian, Kalahari, or Syrian deserts, the Taklamakan Desert, or the Ustjurt Plateau, take your pick. None of them have native cacti, except for one species found in Africa and Sri Lanka, which probably got there in the tuft or in the gut of a migratory bird. Prickly pear got to Australia in the gut of a ship full of settlers in 1788. It was valued as a hardy, attractive, ornamental plant, easy to grow and nicely suited to the arid Australian climate. Cultivation of the cactus was a wild success, and by the early 1900s, Opuntia was showing off just how easy to grow and nicely suited it was to the arid Australian climate. By going rogue and infesting 20 million hectares of the Australian countryside in a, quote, horror of spines. This so-called green wave, spreading at over 1 million hectares a year, is that right? That is extremely fast, was so impenetrable and spiny that farms had to be abandoned over more than 10 million hectares. Homes were left behind, cultivated fields were overtaken, and entire communities were fragmented in an explosive blast of mismanaged horticulture. They couldn't bury it, they couldn't burn it, they couldn't blow it up, because it would grow right back. What they discovered is that prickly pear doesn't just survive, but often benefits from drought, flood, fire, poison, grazing, and being chopped into
this looks
hundreds
not
of little
bad.
tiny pieces.
Let me see. Let me just play this out from the beginning. Chimpwalk. So it is a bit dark, but you know what? Like I've mentioned this before, but I think I've slowly started to get over the concern of having shots that are underexposed. Because like you turn on a Hollywood film, there's so many moments like dark shots where it's literally pitch black on half the screen, and nobody's complaining there about like, hey, this is technically, you know. So I think I'm okay with it, especially if it means that the areas that are lit, you know, if it draws attention to the right moments. I think that looks good. I'll have to turn on some denoise as well once we export this. And then maybe I should lift the shadows. I think it gets a bit, you can see a little bit of adjustment in the lighting here to there. So I think around here, let's lift the exposure just a bit. There we go. Okay, it's much better. There's a slight increase in lighting just for a moment, but oof, it's a clean. That's clean. Okay. I think this is a good one to stop on. It is almost 9:30 p.m. my time. I feel like I've made some good progress. Oh, sorry. And my cat is going crazy right now as I speak. She is hopped up onto my chair. So I don't know if that means she's just saying like, feed me more food. So she's being a little bit extra needy. Nala, don't do it. Don't do it. So anyways, point is, good stream. Good to be here again. Happy Monday. My cats say hello as well. Getting nervous looking at her. Kimpop's just like, what the hell's going on? So anyways, yeah. Fun stream. Like I said, there's a few things. Nala, no. Get down. Get down. Jesus. A few things. One is I've made a new YouTube video. I hope you check it out. It is pinned on all the chats. It's 21 minutes, but it's 21 amazing minutes of me traveling through Munich and learning how to do some street photography. So I hope you enjoy. And then secondly, if you follow me on Instagram, I posted some things there. And then also the new CNN project is now live. It's on TV, but it's also published on Instagram through the Uganda tourism channel. So yeah, hope you check it out. It's a 60-second advert that was created. I got to play a part in it. So it's really cool that something I helped shoot is now being on international TV. How crazy is that? So anyways, those are the fun little, tidbits for the day. All right. Anyways, good stream. I will be back tomorrow. So thank you guys. And